Hey guys, how are we doing? I think we are live. Welcome to the live watch along of ARTUR BETERBIEV and DMITRY BIVOL from Saudi Arabia, Riyadhe, however you want to pronounce it. It is currently 6 a.m. here in Australia. Not quite sure what time it is over there, but we are currently watching Chris Eubank Jr. and he's up against Kamil Szeremeta. So not a bad fight so far. Chris Eubank had Szeremeta down in the first round, and it's been pretty entertaining since then. The other results so far tonight, we had the first fight to kick it off was Muhammad Alakal. He won his pro debut with a 4-round unanimous decision over Jesus Gonzalez, who drops to 3-3, and was the other one? Ben Whittaker and Liam Cameron fought out a 5 or 6 round draw. The score was 58-57 for Whittaker, 58-57 for Cameron, and 58-58. And then in the fight preceding this one, Skye Nicholson retained her WBC featherweight title with a unanimous 10-round decision over Raven Chapman. And Skye, the scores there, 99-91, 98-92, and 98-92. So Skye improves to 12-1, 1 knockout or stoppage. Raven Chapman drops to 9-1 with 2 stoppages. So that is the state of play as we go. We're off to a good start. We've actually got a couple of thumbs down already. So we're off. What are we? Only 2 minutes in, and we're off to two. So, look, I'm assuming people is tuning in for the free live stream. Just to repeat, this is not a live stream. This is a live watch along. There is a difference. So if you're in the chat, make sure you put some comments in there. Let us know what you think about the fight so far. The fight's coming up. Just on the poll on who's going to win. I'm on a site at the moment, Boxing News 24/7. I'm going to jump on one of the best ones I think for news. So the poll so far is a BETERBIEV by KO, leading the poll 47%. That's BETERBIEV by KO. BIVOL on points is 40%, so pretty close. And then we have BIVOL by KO 9% and BIVOL by KO 9%, BETERBIEV on points by 4%. So there you go. That is the poll at the moment. So again, if you're in the chat, make sure you put your comments in there. We've already got Anthony in there. What do you got there, mate? Fans might not enjoy Skye's style, but geez, you have to respect his skills to dominate every time. Well, it's a good point, Anthony. Just as I speak, by the way, we're in round number 6 of Eubank and what is it? Szeremeta. I'm probably going to have to look that up a couple of times as we go. So I'll keep you updated with that one as the fight moves on. Yeah, look, there's Paul in the chat. How are you, Paul? Look, the thing is, with Skye Nicholson, I think I said this in my chat yesterday, or Walking Boxing, that, look, her style's not for everyone, and I haven't seen the fight. I couldn't bring myself to get up that early. It is Sunday morning, by the way. I got up at about just after 5 o'clock. Watched the last sort of bit of it, but not the whole fight. So I'll put that out there straight away. I will watch the full fight later on, but yeah, look, I was hoping she might be a little bit more engaging, but at the end of the day, you've got to get the job done. And from what I saw, it was actually quite good. But look, you got to remember, this is women's boxing. It's women's boxing, so we're not going to have the spectacular KOs. I think we've got to accept that it is just an entirely different sport. We can't really judge them the same way we judge the males. Now, don't get me wrong. There's some females out there that can easily throw hands with males, but it's a different sport. They're not going to hit as hard. So, look, the thing is with Skye, even though, as I said, it might be great for her to engage a little bit more, at the end of the day, she's just got to win the fight. And she's done really good things in the sport so far. Raven Chapman was a very, very good opponent, undefeated going in, as Szeremeta hits the canvas again in round number 6 and takes the 8 count. And this is the guy, I think, from memory. Did he fight Triple G from memory? Where is he? He fought Munguia. There you go. So he fought both of them. He fought Munguia in 21 and Gennady Golovkin in 2020. Was stopped in both of them, but wasn't knocked out. And you can see that Chris Eubank really going forward here. So he's had, 4 wins and 2 draws since then. But a tough guy from Poland. Yeah, so look, she's just doing whatever she has to do at the moment, Anthony. And look, all you got to do is win. That's all you got to do. And let's just judge them on what they are and probably not what we want them to be. So, all right, let's a couple more comments. Paul, Sky's footwork is exceptional. Well, she's a very, very good amateur, Paul. A very, very good amateur. She's been taught, excuse me, very, very well. She's had a lot of amateur fights, especially for a female. I think she might have had about 150 fights. For a female, that's a lot. Considering that Olympic boxing's only been in, I think, since 2012, I think it was. So she was in 2020 or the 21 Tokyo Olympics, and she's very, very well taught, grounded, getting the job done. So congratulations to Sky, and will she get that Amanda Serrano fight? I suppose we will see. Geez, hang on, we're up to 3 already, guys. Just again, it's not a live stream, live watch along. There's a difference. All right, Tommy. Ben Winokur wasn't looking so cocky when he had a fighter on his level in front of him. I didn't see that fight yet, Tommy, but I will watch it after these ones. You guys are keen. Was it 3 o'clock here? We had to get up. Disclosure, I did wake up at 4 and thought about getting up, and I was about to get up and must have dozed off, and then the alarm went off again at about 5:15, I think it was, or just after 5. Or I woke up just after 5. So, yeah, I know I cheated. I know I'm not a real fight fan. But, you got to pick your battles when you're my age, unfortunately. But, I will watch that fight, Tommy. Thanks for putting that up there. So, look, I did see him at the Olympics. I've seen a couple of his pro fights. And, he's definitely a cocky fighter. And he's going to learn in the pros. You can't afford to be that way. So, in round 7 here, and Zeren Mata has gone down again. Now, I'm not sure whether that was a low blow or a body shot. Body shot. So I don't think this fight's going to go too much longer. And he did retire against Munguia and Golovkin. So are we going to see him, I'm not going to, that's a shocking word, lay down. You know what I mean? Like throw in the towel. So I think those other fights, he was stopped in 6 or 7 rounds from memory. Let's have a look. 6 by Munguia, 7 by Triple G. And, so we're almost at the end of round number 7. Now, I've got it on my phone here because I don't want to put it on the PC because it's bad enough with the lag that we already have. When I put it on the PC, it's even worse. I can't actually see the time. Maybe I'll try. There we go. And he's down again. And this fight will be over very shortly, you would think. We've got just over a minute to go in round number 7. And he has stopped the fight. The fight is over. Now, this is awesome news for us that are just looking for the Jai Opetaia fight. It's 6:10, and Jai's not supposed to walk to the ring until 7, so 7 a.m. that is here. So let's hope that that is the case, and they get him out at about 6:30, a little bit earlier. All right. Who else we got there? Hang on. We'll go back to Paul. 2 minutes not enough. Yeah, I agree. And look, that's the other thing, Paul. 2 minutes in female boxing. Look, I'm not against 2 minutes, if I'm being honest. Maybe 12 twos is probably the easiest way to go. Here we go. And here comes the biggest wanker in world boxing at the moment, Conor Benn. You are an absolute peanut. So Conor Benn is in the ring at the moment. He's confronting Chris Eubank. And it was probably one of the most embarrassing things I think I've seen yesterday, was it? When Conor Benn confronted Chris Eubank. They're face-to-face now. It is ridiculous. Conor Benn, you have taken the crown as the biggest tool in world boxing. For a fighter that's done absolutely zero, for you to be on here carrying on and he's in Eubank's face, totally scripted, and there's actually a headbutt in there as well. This guy, for someone that's done nothing in the sport, as I said, to be in there against a guy that's just had a win and headbutted him, idiot. I didn't think Chris Eubank's never been one of my favourite fighters either. But I'll tell you what, when he fights Conor Benn, I'll have my Chris Eubank t-shirt and I could tell you that is just ridiculous. But anyway, but I'm with you there, Paul. I think maybe, yeah, as I said, 12-2s would be a good start. I think that's a good way to get going. And I don't know. I don't mind the quick sort of fighting, or the 2-minute rush, I suppose, where they're fighting at a pretty good pace. But I think really, if we're going to take the sport seriously, it's been a long time coming, by the way. Female boxing's obviously been around a long time. Maybe we just got to bite the bullet and say these girls have got to fight 3-minute rounds. Maybe it's start with 12-2s, or they go the other way and maybe go to maybe 8-3s, 10-3s, whatever it might be. Well, that was a good body shot from Eubank too, right under the heart. That was a little right uppercut. All right, sorry guys, we'll get through a few more comments there. Eubank looking crisp. Yeah, well, it's all over now. Tommy, thanks for that, mate. Yep, I think he beats Ben. I'm hoping he beats Ben. What an idiot. He jumped straight up in the ring. I know it was probably pre-planned, but Jesus, fair income. Just know your place, and just the way he does it. He's just a big mouth. He barely ever fights. He's obviously been done for drugs as well. And even though Chris Eubank's no angel, to get up there like that, and then yesterday in his face, and just the things he says, it's not like he has anything positive to say or anything that remotely resembles a fight build-up. It's just insult after insult after insult. And I know this is part of boxing, but it just doesn't sound right coming from someone like Chris Eubank. And he actually, he actually shouldered him first when he first got in the ring. Jeez. Anyway. All right. Who else has we got there? Glenn. How are you, Glenn? Morning all. How boring is this Eubank fight? Well, the first round was good. Middle rounds were a little bit ordinary. I was just sort of been going back and forth, but at least he's got him out of there, Glenn. And who knows, we might be half an hour early on the Jai Opetaia fight. Now, I'm just looking in slow motion here as the two guys come together. And I think it is, what's with the hairstyle with Conor Benn as well? He's got the 60s sort of greaser look going, hasn't he? Doesn't really suit him. Anyway, all right, we'll move on. Glenn says Whittaker genuinely wanted out of that fight. Okay, well, there you go. I'll look on with that keenly once I get an opportunity a bit later on. So just to repeat, this fight over in the 7th round. Chris Eubank, too good for Kamil Szeremeta, who falls to 25-3-2. Chris Eubank will improve to 34-3. And will he get that Canelo fight? Is he going to price himself out of it? Is he going to talk himself out of it? Who knows? But this guy has just done a great job of sabotaging his career over the journey, hasn't he? So, look, I think it'll be entertaining. I think Canelo chops him down, but it'll be entertaining while it lasts anyway. Tommy, I've got a 2-year-old, so I didn't need an alarm clock. Yeah, well, that's good for you, mate. Yeah, I'm well past those days, but whatever works for you, mate. There's Peter in the chat. How are you there, mate? Let us know what time you guys have all been up. I want to know. I'll admit, about 5:15 I was up, so I cheated, I know. Sky won by unanimous decision, mate. So just to repeat that, Sky improved to 12-1 with 1 stoppage. With a 10-round decision, 99-91 and 98-92 times 2. Chapman drops to 9-1 with 2 KO. So they're speaking to Chris Eubank at the moment. I'm sure he's going to talk up the Ben fight. Is it going to happen? Now, the thing is, with the fight, I know obviously Conor Benn's in there in Chris Eubank's face. Now, which fight? It's probably a bit of a dilemma when you think about it. Does he fight? It's probably easy for us, but this is an all-England thing we're talking about. Does he take the Conor Benn fight? Or does he take the Canelo fight? If both are put on the table for him to take, which fight is he taking? The All-England super fight against Conor Benn? Or is it bigger money? Probably you'd have to, well, I'm not sure what it would be, but at least it'd be a world title fight against Canelo Alvarez. So, but also you got to remember that Conor Benn is a welterweight, so 147. And Canelo and Chris Eubank are both super middleweight, so 168. So what's that, 21 pounds? It's a fair bit of weight. Hang on, let me get my calculator here. So 21 pounds is 9.5 kilograms. And you can see the size difference when they're in there together, actually. So be interested to see which fight he takes. I hope he chooses Canelo, gets the payday, gets the title shot, and tells Conor Benn to piss off and go earn his shot like everyone else does. Hang on, then now they're face to face. Eddie Hearn is there. Conor Bren says, yeah, I'm scared. And the size difference is very clear to see there. And of course, all the groupies are hanging around waiting for something to happen there so they can get their little 15 seconds of fame on the big screen. Well, Chris Eubank talking like the Conor Benn fight's going to happen. All right, I can't even listen to this, so I'm just going to turn it down a little bit. I'm not sure you can hear it there, but I don't want to hear the shit that comes out of his mouth. All right, Anthony, saw Jai got his first knockout this weekend. Apparently, Dean Lonergan got knocked down in his court case against Jai. Hopefully, that gives him a boost for the fight. Yeah, it did happen this week, Anthony. I think it was 1.6 million was the lawsuit for Dean over Jai. I wasn't really stressed which way it went because obviously the court gets presented all the facts and then they make the decision. But for me, it's a little bit sad. I mean, I know both of those guys. I've worked with Dean a few times, promoted Jai with Dean, and it's just for me, it's just sad. And it all stemmed. If you don't really know the story, I don't know all the things that go on behind closed doors, but I think the lawsuit was Dean was after damages. Well, Jai left Dean and signed with Matchroom, and as the guys go head to head, Jesus, what has this sport become? Fair income. Anyway, so I think what happened when Dean lost the TV deal in Australia with Fox Sports, it obviously went to No Limit exclusively. Jai saw the opportunity and Mick Francis, and they left Dean. Dean sued Jai for loss of income for, I think, his next 5 fights. He might have had him under contract. So the 1.6 million lawsuit was launched. But Jai, they've argued that the deal with Dean was invalid after he lost the TV deals in Australia and couldn't fulfill the contract and put him on TVs often as was agreed. So that's really the crux of the whole thing. But as I said, Anthony, I'm even though I'm glad it's over, it's probably a huge relief for Jai as well, and maybe makes it even worse for Massey in the next fight. But yeah, you don't really like to see these things in boxing, but it's all part of it. And especially these days, we're getting more and more lawsuits all the time. And even, what is it, Eddie Hearn at the moment, he's got a lawsuit with Jake Paul over defamation. What was the other one I saw the other day? Oh, of course, Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney. There's a couple going on out there at the moment. So you don't like to see it, but that's the sport we're in. But at least it's all settled now, Anthony. So it's a sad fall for Dean, really, because he was doing great things here in Australia. Obviously, when Jeff Horn was at his peak, and then it all sort of fell apart after that, and he went back to New Zealand, and I don't think it really worked for him over there either. So, yeah, it's a shame. All right, let's move on. Peter, Massey said he was going to punish Opetaia. Well, what else is he going to say, Peter? I'm sure even he didn't really believe that. Look, the thing is, if you saw the face-off at the press conference or Wayne, whatever it was, wow, you see the look in Jai's eyes compared to Jack Massey. Opetaia, he has that look in his eyes where he just wants to absolutely seek and destroy, where you could see that Massey was doing his best to go with him, but I reckon I saw a gulp at one stage, Peter, where he sort of went, shit, what am I up against here? I think Massey's custom made for Jai. Look, it's going to be a tough fight. They always are at this level, but yeah, I don't think even he believes that, Pete. All right, Robert. What time approximately Aussie time with BETERBIEV and BIVOL kick off? It's supposed to be about 9:15 a.m. So Robert, so about 3 hours time. So we've got this one. So Jai and Jack Massey next for the IBF cruiserweight title. Then we've got Fabio Wardley and Fraser Clark over 12 rounds as well. And then it might even be a little bit earlier. So they both go the distance. I'm just hoping, Robert, that they don't stick to the TV schedule, and maybe we're finished by about 8 o'clock with the prelims, and they make us wait for an hour. That's what we do, an hour and 15. But that is the official time, 9:15 a.m. here in Australia, and it's currently 6:20 at the moment. So, so that is the official time. But as I said, let's hope we might get a little bit earlier. So both 12-round fights, Wardley and Clark for the British title. I'm not sure why Opetaia and Massey wasn't the co-main, really, of thinking about it. But anyway, Ben is a wanker, but he's going to make a lot of money. Ben is trying to needle Eubank. Yeah, jeez. Peter, 5. Is that what time you got up? 5:45. It's a bit of a shock to the system on a Sunday morning, isn't it? Met Ben's dad a few times. Great bloke. Shame he's not like his dad. Yeah, well, that's the thing. This is the thing between both. Not so much Chris Eubank. I think he's been, I think, as good as he could possibly be in this situation. He's trying to hype the fight. I know he's a bit of a loose cannon as well. But he does remind me a little bit of his dad, where they get the message across. I've always found their voices irritating. I don't know about you. It's just irritating the way they're so that classic English style. But anyway, but yeah, very much like his dad in that way. And the thing about Nigel Ben was that, yeah, he'd talk it up, but I'm not going to call it respectful, but he did it in a professional way, the way it should be done. Like, I don't know, maybe I'm just reading too much into it, but kind of Ben. I mean, I'll say it again, for a guy that's done zero in the sport, the way he talks it up, and as I said, I sort of hope Eubank bypasses him and just goes to Canelo. I'm just looking at kind of Ben's record at the moment. Now, he's 23-0, hasn't fought since February, so it's not that bad because they normally fight twice, although he's only had one. Now, he only fought once in 2003, once in 2002. He did fight 3 times in 2021, so that's okay. So he's had 3 fights in the last 3 years. And he beat Chris Van Heerden, who was an okay fighter about 10 years ago, but not so much now. Rodolfo Orozco, okay, yeah, that was in Orlando. And then Peter Dobson. So not exactly world-class fighters here, are they? So, yeah. Although Dobson was undefeated, but I thought pretty overmatched. So, but I'm with you there, Glenn. It's a shame he's not like his dad. If I'm Eubank, I'm not fighting a cheat just to make him money. Yeah, good call, Peter. And I hope he fights Canelo instead. Now, I'm pretty sure Canelo would be the bigger payday. You would think if he fought Canelo, we'd probably get 8 to 10 million. You would think. That seems to be the mark for a Eubank fight. Although if it was in the UK, then maybe it might be a bit more because they would probably get 60 or 70,000 to see that fight. You would think Canelo and Eubank. I don't think you're going to get the 90,000 plus you see for the Joshua and Tyson Fury fights, but he would make a bit more money. The pay-per-view is going to be probably the same no matter where they put the fight, so it's probably just more the gate. But with Conor Ben, what would they make? I'm sure they'd probably get. Would they get the same amount of people they get for a Canelo fight? I'm not sure they would. Canelo's a massive name. I know it's an all-England fight, and I know the name sort of, get the blood pumping for the Brits. But, yeah, I don't know. I hope he fights Canelo instead, though, Peter. Yeah, cringe is an understatement there, Tommy. WWE, yep, Peter, yep. Acting like clowns for the cameras. Yeah, well, that's the thing. And I think the thing is, Tommy, is that you can just 100% see that it's totally planned and contrived and orchestrated, and that's what probably makes it come off as cringe. When it happens organically, and it does happen, that's probably okay. You sort of expect that. But when it's been pre-planned, I mean, Conor Ben was in there, 10 seconds after the referee had stopped it. Conor Ben was waiting for him, and of course they got into it. So, yeah, I don't know. It's just very, very cringe, mate. I agree. Who's that in there? BETERBIEV. Okay. Live on the zone. What I'm gonna do, mate, I'm gonna get rid of you because I don't want to be spammed all morning. All right, Paul. Yes, Jai's fight is next, Paul. So they're actually the panel are up there at the moment. I say Liam Smith talking to the DAZN crew there. And I think I've said this on here before, but I met Liam Smith about when was it? A couple of years ago, I think it was, and took all my money at the poker table. We were sat down at the MGM Grand playing poker. I sat next to him or across from him, and he cleaned me out on one of the hands. I had to go home with my tail between my legs. So, is it? I don't think it is Tommy. Is it? I thought that Jai was next. Maybe I'm wrong. I thought the rundown had Jai next and then the heavyweights after that. Either way, hey, it'd be great to have Jai next. Whatever happens, I suppose. There's this guy. There's James Brown in the chat. How are you, James? They have got Jai and Jack on the screen at the moment. That's really good how they've done that. They've got an LED floor and it changes to whatever fight they're at. So, oh, okay, Jai up next. I was looking at Box Rec. Okay. Let's go, Jai, yeah. I'm really looking to see what he can do. The Breeders fights, they were tough fights, weren't they? And Breeders did come back in both of those fights after being sort of dominated for most of it. So I think the fact he's got through that, I think he was disappointed that he didn't get the stoppage or a clear-cut win. Actually, looking at the tail of the tape, Jai 29, Massey 31, height 6'2", Jai 6'4", Massey reach 76, Jai 77, Massey weight 198.9 for Jai, 199.212 for Massey, 25-0 for Jai. They just took the record off there. Let me just have a look. So yeah, Jai is 25-0, Jack Massey 25-2. Now the two losses, and great news here is the ring announcer is about to announce the boys come into the ring, and it's half an hour early. You've got to love that. So his two losses were to Joseph Parker. We remember that from a couple of years ago. Actually, it was only last year. And Richard Rioport. So, look, his two losses have been to obviously very respectable opponents. The Rioport fight was 2019. That was for the British Cruiserweight title. Now, he does look a lot bigger than Jai, doesn't he? So, but the weights are very, very similar. I just couldn't get it. Maybe Jai's obviously a lot thicker, but yeah, the height difference was definitely there for all to see. All right, there's Paul Michael Craig. How are you there, mate? Geez, the count is moving up. We're at 9 dislikes. Again, apologies if you're after a live stream. I think you should know I can't do a live stream. It just doesn't work that way. All right. Peter again. Sky is a very skillful fighter with the hit and don't get hit mentality. It's not for everyone, but I enjoy it. Yeah, no, that's fair enough. I'll turn my little heater on there. It's a little bit chilly this morning here in the Macedon Ranges. Yeah, look at whatever gets the win, Peter. And look, it's a little bit like, I suppose, someone like a Floyd Mayweather. Like he copped a little bit later in his career. He was a lot more exciting early in his career. As Jack Massey makes his way to the ring at the moment, about to jump in the ring. Looks very confident in his black robe with the red. But yeah, later on in his career, he copped a lot of criticism for his safety-first approach. But look, whatever gets you the win. Yeah, it'd be nice to see a little bit more entertainment. But at the end of the day, we don't want her at, 50 years of age and wearing the effects of all the years of getting punched in the face. So, I mean, she barely gets hit, barely ever has a scratch on her face, if anything. So, now looking at the crowd as well, it's not the biggest crowd so far. You would think they would all arrive a little bit later. I'm sure Tassie Brown's at ringside there. Shout out to Tassie. If you don't know, Tassie, of course, offside on here for a couple of years. He's over there at the moment reporting for Fight Hype. So I looked at him on his socials and doing good jobs over there. So the polls say that Jai Opetaia, 76%. They say Jai will win, only 24% for Jack Massey, which is probably about right, if you ask me. Probably even a little bit high for Jack Massey. I would have thought Jai would have been about 85, to be honest. But anyway. I've got Clark beating Wardley. Should be a great fight. First one was awesome. Yeah, I've picked Clark as well there, Glenn. And the last fight, when was it? It was, was it last year? This year. I had it in my mind it was last year, end of last year. It was actually March of this year. So it was a draw, of course. It was a draw. So I've got Clark winning this one as well. Should be a good fight. So the record is 17-0-1 for Fabio Wardley and 8-0-1 for Fraser Clark. So Jai Opetaia in the ring. Last fight was that win over Marius Breedis back in May of this year. And he is a fighter's fighter, is Jai Opetaia. And as I said earlier, you would think that now the whole lawsuit is over and done with. He's going to have a lot clear ahead. All right, Glenn, what's that there? Might go the distance with Massey. He's very durable. Went 12 with Parker. Yeah, I think so. I think if Jai gets him out of there, Glenn, I think it'll be an accumulation of punches. I don't think, or it could be a cut maybe. I don't think he's going to get Massey out of there purely by a knockout. Jai's not the biggest puncher. Of course he can punch. He's had 19 knockouts in his 25 wins. He can do it. But I think in this case, the fact that, I mean, Joseph Parker's not a big puncher either, is he? But, yeah, Jack Massey did give him some issues over the, 12 rounds, whatever it was. So I just said, guys, with the crowd, yeah, not many people at ringside at the moment. It looks very sparse, but I'm sure probably midway through the Clark Wardley fight, we will see a spike, you would think. Boxing crowds are funny like that, aren't they? And that's probably why I credit UFC with at the moment. They normally get the crowd right from the start because they do a full card of fights. But this is probably one of those occasions, isn't it, that it is a full card of fights. But that's boxing. It always has been and probably always will be, where it's all about the main event. All right, Peter, what do you got there, mate? Massey is a hard fight. I think he's better than Bill Smith. Maybe it goes a distance or a late stoppage. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, Peter. And make no mistake, this is a tough fight for Jai. It's never really been. Well, I know I haven't said that he's going to beat Massey easily. I think he can stop him, but I think he wins on points. I think if I'm going to give a prediction. So Jack Massey from Manchester, England. Been there a couple of times to Manchester. Parker looked out of shape against Massey and barely lost a round. Yeah, yeah, good point, Peter. When was that fight, by the way? Was it last year or the year before? When was it? 2023. So January 23 in Manchester. Yeah. And the scores there were 97, 93, 97, 92, 96, 93. So only won probably, 3 rounds, maybe 4. All right. So both boys being introduced at the moment. There's the crew with the ring belt and the IBF belt in the corner. From the Gold Coast, Australia. Now, I'm not sure. I know he's been trained by his dad again, but is Mark Wilson been speared entirely, or is he in the corner? I can't see him there. Mark has been in the corner for his last few fights, so I'm not sure what's happening there if that is the case. If anyone knows, put it in the chat there, but I can't see Mark Wilson in the corner. As I said, I did know that his dad had come back onto the scene, but I assumed that Mark would still be in the corner in some capacity. But anyway, I'm sure there's a reason behind that. Boys touch gloves for round number 1. Yeah, they do, Peter. And that's the trade-off, isn't it? They have shit crowds. I'll get to a few more of your comments as we go, guys, but we're about to start round number 1. Jai Opetaia, Jack Massey for the IBF Cruiserweight title. Both boys come to centre ring. And again, you can sort of see definitely the height difference between the two, but you can clearly see that Jai Opetaia is the thicker man. Definitely, especially across the back. So Massey orthodox, Opetaia southpaw, takes centre ring straight off the bat and pushes Massey back. And looks very confident straight off. And there's a little left straight to the body there just to find his range against Jack Massey. And he's a very upright boxer. I suppose both of them are very upright boxers. And Jack Massey, yeah, looks okay. Does take a straight left there that just reached the point of his chin from Jai Opetaia. I'm going to have to turn my phone up that way. I don't like to because I can't set the clock if I don't. I'm going to put my chat there. All right. I shall move that over there. Sorry, guys. I'm just moving my screen around a bit here because I can't set the time. And then if I move my phone, I can't see the comments. All right, so we are almost halfway through round number 1. Good start to the fight by both guys, but particularly Jai Opetaia, who looks nice and tight at the moment. Blocks a right hand there from Massey. coming forward, looks very, very confident at the moment, and looks really set to make a statement, I think, in this fight. He does start fast though, Jai, and has tended to fade a little bit. But I think I said earlier, I don't think Massey is the type of guy like a Breedis who has the ability to make him pay later in the fight. But minute to go in round number 1, a good round, I think, for Jai. He's dictated the pace. He's pushed Massey back and looks very confident with that straight lead right hand and those sneaky little lefts to the chin and to the body. Does go to the body there with a little left rip that just tucks in under the elbow there of Massey. I'll just... it does look in great nick, Peter. Really good nick. Does Jai. So good start to this fight. It is 12-3s, of course, for the IBF Cruiserweight title with 25 seconds to go in round number 1. And I think so far Jai Opetaia doing a good job to win this round. What I'm actually going to do, I might put the scores up as we go. As we count down to the end of round number 1. Where are we? There is the end of round 1. All right, so what I'm going to do is put in the score. So I'm going to put in, I think Jai Opetaia won that fight, won that round. And so what is he, 10? Massey, 9. So I'll just change the color of that there. There we go. And now just bear with me here, guys, as I put that there. There you go. Editing on the run. All right. I think that's right. Yep, Opetaia 10, Massey 9 for the first round. I'm just going to move that. I know this is riveting stuff here. There we go. All right, so we're going to round number 2. Peter, Massey looked gassed against Chamberlain in... was that made a little comeback late in the fight? Okay. Yeah, I think as the fight goes on, Peter, I think you'll see... Oh, round 6. Sorry, Peter. Yep. All right, so round number 2, and a little bit the same as what happened in the first round. Jai goes straight to center ring, pushes Massey back. He was just a little reluctant to engage with Jai at the moment. He's looking a little bit reactive at the moment. Jai's coming forward, and he's starting to go to the body as well. Does miss a wild left hand there, though, does Jai. Massey fires back with a right hand that falls well short, and Jai comes back with a nice sharp left to the body. And the guards of both guys really high, particularly Jai. His gloves are almost at the top of his head, but very sharp. Lands a straight left and a right hook there. I'm not sure Massey's going to win this fight by backing up. I think his only chance really is to come forward and try and rough Jai up and hopefully maybe tire him out. At the moment, Jai is dictating the pace. And Massey on the back foot, as I said, I don't think he's going to win or have a chance to win this fight. He's not a big puncher. What is he, 22-2? How many knockouts has he had? 12 KOs, so not a big puncher. And a nice left lands from Opetaia as Massey clinches and ties him up. And we're up to 10 dislikes, guys, with the clock is, or the count is mounting. Guys, it's not a live stream. Again, if it's not a live stream and you're upset, just don't give it a dislike. I'm pretty sure that upsets the algorithm. I don't know. Everyone talks algorithms and all this sort of stuff. Just move on and see if someone else will stream it for you. I doubt they will, but... All right, uppercut lands from Jai Opetaia. Massey clinches in the corner. We've got 30 seconds to go in round number 2. Another good round from Jai Opetaia. He's looking really sharp at the moment, Jai. Looking confident. He's poking out the jab. The left to the body and head is landing. He's landed a couple of good little left rips in close under the heart. Lands a nice left hand there. I thought his legs might have actually buckled a little bit there, Massey. Really nice left hand. Another left hand bowls in from Opetaia. And Jack Massey already looks a little shell-shocked. And the speed difference is really prevalent as well. So another round in the books there and another clear round, in my opinion, for Jai Opetaia. So it's 2 rounds for Jai and 0 to Massey. Bad boy Manry. No, mate, I have no idea. Look, I don't know. There's... Ban this guy again. I don't know where that's coming from. I don't know there, a bad boy. As ARTUR BETERBIEV enters the stadium, as does DMITRY BIVOL. I think, look, again, I'm not sure how all these streamings work. The Undercard, this is in America. I think the Undercard was on DAZN. The main event is free on ESPN+. So if you're in the States, obviously, if you've got ESPN+, just watch that. I think for the rest of the world, it's purely on DAZN for $29.99. All right, let's get into round number 3. And we're up to number 11 dislikes. I think we've almost got more dislikes than we have viewers at the moment. Can't please everyone. Now, Jai being a little bit more aggressive to start round 3. This is probably where he's got to be a little bit careful, because he's still vulnerable to getting caught as he's coming in, but he looks very intent to get Massey out of there. It's a little bit sort of early to be throwing those type of power punches, but he's letting them go. Massey looks still a little bit tentative. Again, I don't know how he's got any chance of winning this fight by just moving backwards. He's not gonna outbox Jai Opetaia. Oh, thanks, bad boy. So I haven't even combed it this morning. It's a little bit all over the place. So we are a minute into round number 3, and it is Jai looking to land that sort of cross between a left sort of hook / overhand left. But he's definitely looking to land that power shot. And continues to back Massey up. That lands a left hand as he backs Massey into the corner. Massey, nice little left hook to the body there. Didn't seem to have much of an effect on Jai, though, who continues to walk forward. Nice hands and nice hands that are nice and high, I should say. And just by looking at it, it looks like Massey's looking for a counter left hook. Hasn't really had a lot of success landing it, but has been throwing it quite often. Nice left. Good range from Jai at the moment as well. Looks to have really found his time and range really, really early in the fight. All right, so a minute to go in round number 3. And it looks like, again, a very dominant round by Jai Opetaia. Jack Massey's got to do something to offset Jai at the moment, and Jai lands a nice right hook there as well. He's got to do something to upset the rhythm of Jai Opetaia, because at the moment, Jack Massey's not the most graceful guy anyway. But he's not going to have, I'll say it again, he's not going to have any real chance of giving himself an opportunity to win the fight just by backing up and allowing Jai to come forward. And at the moment, he's sitting in the corner and allowing Jai just to tee off on him. And that's not going to win him this fight. Jai at the moment looking so comfortable. He's doing exactly what he wants to do. He's getting not a lot of resistance from Massey at all as we end round number 3 and another clear round to Jai Opetaia. So he moves to 30 and Massey is 27. So a bit of a shutout so far, and it's just been all Jai Opetaia. So Glenn put money on Jai winning, but it goes 7 rounds. Oh, you put money on. Okay. Yeah, look, I think so. Look, no disputing Massey's tough. He's going to hang in there. It's not like he's been hurt or rocked. He did actually land a not a bad little left hook, right hand combination there and doubled up the hook there. But just so far, just backing up. He's just negating himself. He's more of a walk forward type of guy. Or he's going to have to be a walk forward type of guy against Jai. I know that's easier said than done when you've got Jai Opetaia in front of you, but he's backing up, and Jai's just pot shotting him at the moment and just having a ball in there. So we enter round number 4. So it's a 12-round fight for the IBF Cruiserweight title. And Massey's starting to come forward a little bit more now, which is what he has to do. I think he's had a good look at Jai now, and he needs to be able to start backing Jai up. A little bit like what Breeders did in that fight. So Jai returns the favour, and now he takes centre ring and moves Massey backwards. Good. And a nice little left to the body by Jai and a left to the head. Nice little move. He just sort of moved off to the side and threw a nice left hand straight down the middle there. Such great timing and skill. There's Jai Opetaia. Remember, guys, if you've got any comments, put them in the chat there. What do you think of the fight so far? Who's going to win DMITRY BIVOL versus BETERBIEV? Remember, this is almost like watching the fight with your mates. Everyone in the chat. We've got about 30-odd people watching at the moment. So any comments you want to put in there, and when we can discuss them in between rounds. So we're about halfway through round number 4 at the moment. Better round for Massey. He's had some success, but I think the first minute or so was for Jack, and he does take a left hand there. I'm not sure whether that wobbled him or... No, he does look okay. The referee does have a bit of a look at him, though. It might have been a low blow, maybe. So more even round this one, but again, I think Jai, he's just doing enough to win. That lands a left to the body. Thanks, Ian. Yeah, I do too. I think Bivol wins. I was watching his fight with Canelo yesterday. Geez, he did a number on Canelo, didn't he? I sort of had my doubts. If I picked the right person, I watched him against Canelo and thought, if this guy turns up against BETERBIEV, he's going to win. So, yeah, not a bad round, this one. Jai gets his head snapped back there by a jab. And look, I'm tempted to almost give this round so far to Massey. I think the first... Oh, Glenn, walking... Oh, good stuff, mate. You're out there walking your dog. Great stuff. Nice right hook lands from Jai. So 30 seconds to go in round number 4. And this is what round is definitely up in the air. Thought the first minute was Massey. The second minute was Jai. And we have 20 seconds to go in round number 4. Nice body and then head shots from Jai Opetaia. It really looks to finish the round strong. Massey misses with a big right hand. Nice left to the body from Jai Opetaia. Geez, he's looking very sharp at the moment. And we end round 4. Well, close round, but I still think Jai Opetaia won the round. And Jack Massey already has some work to do, because there's my score there, 40-36. And Jai's wouldn't ever blow out a candle in the corner. And this is the thing about when you have a fighter like Jai, who is allowed to dictate the fight. And what I mean by that is, at the moment, it happens a little bit with Canelo. It actually happens with all the elite fighters in the world. They fight to their own pace. So at the moment, Jai is able to really put it on when he wants to, but he's also able to rest when he wants to. And the good fighters take you out of your comfort zone. And at the moment, Jack Massey just hasn't got the ability to do that. And this is one of the reasons why, the main reason I think that Bivol was able to beat Canelo. Because you watch Canelo, he likes to, same thing, fight when he wants to fight, rest when he wants to rest, and the opponents normally let him do that. Bivol took him right out of that zone. When Canelo was trying to rest, Bivol was volume punching, and that was the difference. And at the moment, Jai is just being able to do whatever he wants, and Jack Massey is allowing him to do that. And while he does that, it's going to be, I think, one round or the same round after the same round in this fight. But we'll see. We're only 4 rounds in, so plenty of time to go. But so far, a carbon copy of the the other 4 rounds here in round 5, and that Jai coming forward, nice and high guard, probe him to the head, probe him to the body, and then firing into those sharp left hands. And it's good to actually see Jai's father, Tapu, in his corner. He hasn't been in it for most of his pro career. Not sure what happened there. Obviously, family things. But great to see him back anyway. All right. So the numbers there, 42% landed from Opetaia, 32% have landed from Massey. 112 headshots, 74 headshots landed by Massey. I don't think I've seen 24, let alone 74. But in the corner at the moment, you see this is probably about where when the dust starts to settle in a fight, the early sharpness, I suppose, the crispness starts to go out of it, and we go into the next phase of the fight. And at the moment, Jack Massey is just looking to slow down just a tad, which is not what you want to do against someone like Jai Opetaia. And at the moment, Jai's just pot-shotting him on the rope. So in these 12-round fights, as I said, it's almost like there's phases. And we've gone through the first third of the fight, and now we get into where the second wind needs to kick in a little bit. And then the third part of the fight is where heart comes into it. So Jai landing some good shots at the moment. Uppercuts, hooks, body shots as well. And Jack Massey not really moving at all, and actually looks quite gassed at the moment. I don't think he's used to this rate of the fight, the work rate that Jai's putting on him, because he's very busy at the moment. So in you go. So yep, BIVOL by a hair. BIVOL for me, says Glenn. Volume and movement too much. And DMITRY, he will win, says Emil. Emil, how are you there, Emil? Welcome to the chat. All right, so we have 20 seconds to go in round number 5, and this is probably the most dominant round of the fight, I think, so far for Jai Opetaia. It's boxed very, very well. Head, body, in close from the outside. Jack Massey just has not had an answer this round. And this guy keeps coming with different accounts, so I'll just keep banning you, buddy. And the end of round number 5. So another clear round to Jai Opetaia. Could not have looked more impressive so far, Jai Opetaia. Yeah, nice right hook landed from Jai. Beautiful shot. And then he went down below to the body. So he blocked the right hand from Massey and come back with a sharp right hook to the head and then a right hook to the body. Just some really good work. So for me, as you can see there, 5 rounds to 0 for Jai Opetaia. Did land a sneaky right hand, although that might have been earlier in the fight. I think they're showing highlights from earlier in the fight. So again, guys, if you're watching along, make sure if you're watching this and the stream, make sure you comment down there. G'day, Volley. How you going there? Mexico has entered the chat. Hola, Lyndon. Thank you, Volley. Hola to you too. And gracias for tuning in. All right, round number 6. And I think Massey's being told here that he has to pick it up because he started the round quite aggressively. But Jai Opetaia doesn't look really phased at all at the moment. Just doing his thing. Takes the center ring back from Jack Massey, who now is clinching. He's had his 45 seconds of aggressiveness, and now it's going to be Jai Opetaia's turn, I would think. So just remember, guys, that Massey went the distance with Joseph Parker, and I know he didn't come close to winning the fight, but the fact he went the distance with a really big, strong heavyweight, obviously he's tough. But I'm just looking at the physique of Jai at the moment. I think he almost looks the best physically I've seen him. and I can't remember who it was commented earlier, said his fitness guy's got him in awesome shape. Well, he just looks so ripped at the moment. And he's got Massey on the ropes at the moment. Uppercuts, hooks, body shots landing at the moment, and Massey is hanging on and really starting to feel the effects of the fight so far. Jai gets warned for the headbutt, accidental headbutt. Massey misses a wild overhand right. Now he sits in the corner, and Jai lands some good shots. What's that, Lachlan? Jai versus Norton, dream fight. We could do that, Lachlan. The thing is, Norton's a heavyweight, Jai's a cruiserweight, so but would be a good fight. How about Jai versus Evander at cruiserweight? All right. Well, the fight is over. Just like that. The corner has thrown in the towel. That is bizarre. Now, maybe I've totally missed that because I thought while Jai was totally dominant, I didn't think at any stage Massey was close to being stopped, and the corner has stopped the fight. Now, guys, put it in the chat if I missed something here. I thought while Jai had won every round, I didn't see it to the point where the corner would stop the fight. Almost to the point you would have thought even the referee would have kicked the towel out, because it's not like he was taking unnecessary punishment. I don't know what's happened there. But either way, it is 7 a.m. and we have 2 fights to go. We're almost an hour ahead of schedule. Yep, Tommy. Yep, come on, Jai. Diane, how do you pronounce that? Dushabayev for BIVOL, the champ. Yep. What flag is that, Diane? I'm assuming, is that, well, it's not the Russian flag. What is it? All right. Current dislike count, 15. A lot of people, I know what it is, by the way. Everyone logging on, expecting to see the free stream. It ain't happening, guys. I'll be kicked off YouTube. All right, Tommy. Trainer said he was going to give Massey one more round to show something and wasn't happy with what he was seeing, I guess. Okay. Look, I know he looked gassed, Tommy, but enough to stop the fight? I'm just looking at the replay here. I mean, Jai was landing some good shots. But the referee at no stage looked concerned about the welfare of Massey at all. And I think what's happening there, you can see the corner. The referee's got his back to Massey's corner. The corner's obviously yelled out to the referee, who's turned around and looked as the towels come in, and he's almost as nonplussed as what I am at the moment. He's like, oh, okay, all right, we'll stop the fight. So that is bizarre. Okay, well, congratulations to Jai. It was a dominant performance. But to stop the fight, yeah, Glenn, yeah, I don't think it was Massey's decision, but I'm going to have to watch the replay. As I said, I thought it was a dominant performance from Jai, but just simply winning the rounds. I didn't think he was, maybe he'd hurt Massey a little bit in close with some of those body shots. He'd landed some good shots, but to stop the fight, that's in a world title fight. Look, end of the day, hey, look, as they say, it's always better to stop it maybe a round early than a round too late, but I just don't see, I mean, Jack Massey's disappointed. Look, he took some punishment, but as I said, I just don't think it was enough to warrant stopping a world title fight. If anything, he was probably more gassed than hurt. So, but we don't know. We're not in there taking punches from Jai Opetaia, so it's easy to comment from out here. Yeah, it could have been his nose, I suppose. He's got the welt under his left eye, but yeah, that is crazy. What's that, James? Did look like Massey was done. He didn't protest. Yeah, well, that's probably the bigger sign, isn't it, James? Is that Jack Massey didn't argue with his corner. There was no protest from his corner whatsoever. He just shrugged his shoulders and said, "Yep." And look, that's probably a trust thing with his corner. They've obviously been together for a long time. His corner obviously knows the fighter a lot better than what we do. And maybe they knew that he just had no hope of winning the fight. It was taking punches. It was 5 rounds to 0 down. It was about to be 6-0 down. And maybe it was a matter of just living the fight another day. I don't know, but I just didn't see anything that, to me, showed that the fight should have been stopped. Now, just forgive me here as I update the scorecard down below for the next fight. There we go. Wardley and Clark. Glenn, Whitaker and now Massey, English fighters looking a bit soft today. Just don't say that, Glenn. We'll have anarchy. But you're right. I'm with you. Like, I didn't see the Whitaker fight, but by all accounts, it was not the most impressive performance. And Massey, look, Massey's a tough guy, but again, maybe his corner just knew him better than, or knows him better than what we do. Now, I didn't know either. Two guys, that Eubank Zerameta fight was actually for the IBO world title, so middleweight title as well. Now, what were the weights for that there? So he weighed, hasn't actually got his weight. So if he fights Canelo, of course, he's going to have to go up in weight, which, I don't know, that shows how barren the super middleweights are at the moment when you've got a middleweight moving up to fight Canelo. Who would you rather see Canelo fight, by the way? I'd probably prefer Mbili. I think he's earned a crack at Canelo. Whether he's a little bit dangerous for him remains to be seen, I suppose. But so it looks like we're going to maybe be an hour early or 45 minutes early with the BIVOL and BETERBIEV fight, because we're 2 minutes past 7 and it's 2 hours and 15 minutes before that fight is supposed to start. We've only got the 112 rounder to go. Now, you think the odds are that Wardley and Clark will go the distance. The first fight was an absolute war. Over 12 rounds, it was a draw. So even if that goes the distance, you would think that it could be up to an hour early for BETERBIEV and BIVOL, which would be great for all of us that have been early. And I wasn't up as early as a lot of you guys, but still, for me, 5:15 is a very, very early for an old fella like me. So Jai Opetaia in the ring, getting all the plaudits as he should. Great performance. I think that's sort of been forgotten a little bit with the questions about Massey, but just a stellar, flawless performance by Jai Opetaia. Barely wore a punch. He looked sharp. Really good punches to the head and body, and looked a lot better than I think than the Breeders' fight. So what's next for him? Will Billum Smith or Zurdo Ramirez want the fight with him? Whoever wins that fight, who knows? There's not really a lot left in that division, is there? Maybe, I think Riyadhe is going up to cruiserweight. Just looking at a few other results, other news going on at the moment. What's that? James Whitaker suplexed his opponent out of the ring, then sucked his way out of the stadium. Is that right? Okay, I'll have to look at that. Thanks, Peter. I hope you're watching as well, I'm guessing. So looking at some other news, not much going on. It's all about BIVOL and BETERBIEV at the moment. Two solid guys, aren't they? Wow. All right. Well, let's hope, by the way, we don't have a situation where we're waiting an hour for the co-main. CBS and Zurdo are easy meat for Opetaia. I agree, Peter. I think if I was Jai or his management, I'd be saying to the winner of Billum Smith and Zurdo Ramirez, right, do you want the unification next? If they and and delay, I'd say, look, give the belts up and just go straight to heavyweight. He'd have to have a fair bit of size to put on. But looking at tonight, he looked really ripped, and what he weighed just under 200. So it's only a couple of pounds off actual heavyweight, although with Bridgerweight and all that, though, that's only WBC, isn't it? Whatever it is, but he's not far off being a really solid heavyweight. He'd probably have to put on about 10 kilos, I'm probably thinking, to get him up to about sort of 220, 222, whatever it might be. And I think that's probably going to be his ideal weight. At least about 8 kilos, I would think. What's that, Hanoi? 5:15 still feels like 4:30 a.m. because of daylight savings. Yeah, well, that's the thing. So last week it went forward, didn't it? So would it have been better? No, I can never work out the daylight savings thing. But either way, it doesn't matter. Daylight savings or not, Hannah. It's an effort, especially on a Sunday morning. Might need a coffee soon, I think. All right, let's see what else is going on around there, guys. Now, just on that poll as well at the moment, BETERBIEV by KO is leading the poll, 47% say he'll win by KO. 39% say that if BIVOL wins, he'll win on points. So it's actually still quite close. 9% say BIVOL will win by KO, and only 4% say that BETERBIEV will win on points. G'day, David. How you going there, mate? Welcome to the chat. The problem is CBS team realise if they fight Opetaia, the big paydays are over. CBS saying he's number one. Well, I think we all know he's not number one, that's for sure. So I'm just going to have a quick scroll and see what other news is happening. Not a lot. It's all about BETERBIEV and BIVOL. Yep, that is about it. Just looking at a photo of the weigh-in, or it might have been the press conference of Opetaia and Massey, and you've got Massey sort of looking away, sort of sheepishly, and Jai Opetaia looking at him like he's the Terminator, and that sort of that's the way it went tonight, wasn't it? I'll just have a look and see if I can find some other boxing news at the moment while we fill in some gaps. A little bit of time. Anything else you want to talk about there, guys? Put it in the chat, by the way. No, it's all about... Oh, okay. So Whittaker bout... Oh, so is that what happened? So it says here, the fight between Ben Whittaker and Liam Cameron ended in bizarre circumstances on Saturday. This is on the ESPN site. Following the fighters falling out of the ring. So that's why it was a 5-round draw. Okay. I was wondering why it was only 5 rounds. In the 5th round, when the former backed on the ropes, both men flipped over the top rope and landed heavily outside the ring. They returned to the feet gingerly, but Whittaker, an Olympic silver medalist, actually I didn't know he was a medalist, there you go, was in obvious discomfort. He left the venue in a wheelchair. Geez, so a split draw. There you go. Whittaker was taken to the medical tent inside the building to assess a right leg injury before an ambulance arrived to take him to a nearby hospital, according to a report on the DAZN broadcast. There you go. Actually, one bit of news. Actually, I'll get to a couple of your comments first. Axie Man, how are you there, mate? Doesn't Jai have to fight his IBF mandatory next? Yes, good point there. Let me just have a look. Let's have a look at the ratings at the moment. All right, so cruiserweight. All right, so Jack Massey was rated number 10. So you'll have to fight, according to this, Hussein Sin Cara. Okay, now I don't know anything about him at all. So I'm going to put his record in the box rec and see what we come up with. Let's have a look. Because I've never heard of him. All right, he's a German, 22-0. Okay, last fight was back in April with a 2nd round stoppage over Armand Joshage, whatever that is. I was just going to say hasn't fought out of Germany. He's fought twice. Had his pro debut in Turkey and then had another fight last year in, looks like Turkey as well. So I don't recognise any fighters on his resume. He is currently ranked number 1. So look, the thing is, who was it? Who said Axie Man? If that is the, it's up there. Axie Man. If that is the case, could that be the fight they might bring back to Australia? I think he'd like to fight back in Australia. Maybe that could be the fight. I don't think it's going to do massive numbers unless they put it obviously on another Riyadhe card. Isn't it interesting too? There's number 2 ranking is vacant. Michael Shizlak is 3. Wouldn't he be just number 2? I'm not sure again how you have vacant ratings. I don't get it. Especially number 2 ranking. I've seen number 1 ranking and fight for that number 1 ranking to become mandatory, but a number 2 ranking vacant doesn't make much sense to me. And I think We might be moving into Wardley and Clark, are we? No, they've got Turkey LL Sheik on the screen at the moment. I'm going to have to turn this up. Hopefully you can't hear it that. I don't know why. Is he getting into the ring? Is this the usual Turkey LL Sheik ass-kissing segment of the show? No, he's walking away from the ring. All cameras on him walking away from the ring. Now he's going up on the stage. All right, I'm not sure what's going on there. All right, Peter, that was a very easy night for Jai. How shows you how good Breeders and Opetaia was. Yeah, Breeders 3, yeah, it'd be good, but he's obviously retired now. But all right, there's a okay. They're drawing a prize. Is it a car? All right, James. Okay, they're drawing a lucky draw or something. All right, I think Sky's missing a lot of opportunities to score, and with so few punches thrown, if she wears 2 more around, she loses. Yeah, as I said earlier, James, I think it's effective at the moment. She's winning her fights very, very comfortably. The problem is that no one's really looking to pay to watch her fight. Now, it's probably, probably a little bit unfair to, I suppose, put that on her that, hang on, what have I lost there? I've lost the fight here. Hang on, I've hit the wrong thing. What have I done there? Hang on, I've hit the wrong button. Sorry, guys. I'll have to go back. I'm watching basketball at the moment. I don't know what I've done there, but let's go home. Let's get rid of that. Jesus, hang on. All right, there we go. Watch live. I've ended up at the basketball somehow. Okay. What is going on here? I might just close that app there. This is not what I want. All right, let's have a look. Okay, looks like we're good now. I think. Yeah, we're back. All right, so yeah, no, look, I think Amanda Serrano, obviously that's the fight that she wants. I don't think Amanda Serrano is going to want the fight with Sky Nicholson. It's a risky fight for her anyway, but if it doesn't really get the juices flowing for someone, for the fans, Amanda Serrano is not going to waste her time. Gee, that's a nice car, by the way. It's a Mercedes-Benz wagon or something that they've just won. Anyway, but look, it's a catch-22 things, James. Does she alter her fight style to please everyone, or does she leave it the way and miss out? To get those big fights, or does she leave her style the way it is, and she might miss out on the fight with Serrano? I don't think Serrano is that interested in fighting her, if I'm being honest. She's what is Serrano? Is she 35, 36? She would see Jai as a real Jai. I'm just watching the comments in here. She would see Sky as very, very risky. So I would think she'll probably assess after the Katie Taylor fight. I would think that's the fight she's really after. I think if she gets beaten badly in that fight, she might retire or maybe go to MMA or something. I don't know. Now the winner of this card, by the way, I'm not sure they're going to be able to properly identify them because they've got the full garb on. All you can see is the eyes. So I'm not sure how they're going to identify them, but I just can't get over that. All you can see is literally the eyes. I know it's the custom and everything, but hard to get your head around. All right, Glenn, watch the replay. Whittaker pulled him over. Yeah, well, he come off off by the sounds of things, Glenn. Jai will fight who the turkey wants him to fight. Yeah, good point, Peter. Although the IBF have stripped him before. Now, actually, on that, yes, good point. Now, the IBF did say that they would give dispensation to Jai to fight Massey in this fight, but he had to fight the number 1 mandatory, which is Sin Cara, by January. So what is it now? Mid-October, you may as well say mid-October. So it's 3 months. So I think Jai would probably want that. I'm not sure there'll be a Riyadhe card before then, though. But Look, who knows? Maybe with the ease in which he won this fight, maybe they might put it on the Fury and Usyk card. Who knows? But look, that card for me looks a bit flat at the moment. I'm not really excited about that. So actually, I'll just put in. I think Borichuk and Madrimov was a good fight on that card, but that's really about it. Let me just have a look at the actual card. All right, so on that card, so of course Usyk Fury 2. So Borichuk and Madrimov are going to fight over 12 rounds for no belts. That's just a matchup. Then we've got Isaac Lowe, Lee McGregor, Dennis McCann, Peter McGrail, Moses Atama versus Dempsey McKean. Good fight. Johnny Fisher, David Allen. Some solid fights, but geez, I'll tell you what. If Usyk and Fury wasn't such a big event, would you be paying to see that card? I don't think I would. Borichuk and Madrimov's a solid fight, but both coming off losses. Full respect to both of those guys, by the way, for fighting each other coming off losses. All right, so they're introducing Fabio Wardley. Fabio Clark. Sorry, I'll just get back to... There we go. Fabio Wardley, Fraser Clark, sorry. So what is it? 7:15 now. So we've got them out by about 7:30. This fight should be over by about 8:30. So we might be slightly ahead of schedule, which is good. Peter, tell me people are saying Whittaker looked shit. Another hype job. Yep, I haven't seen it yet, mate, but I will check it out. Not another mid-card giveaway. Yep, well, at least it's over now, Tommy. Yeah, the Turk loves Jai. Certainly does, Peter. Opetaia is clearly Australia's best fighter. Yeah, I'm with you there, Peter. I know Tim Tszyu is probably the more popular fighter and well-known fighter. I'll tell you one thing that is really disappointing coming from an Aussie, and like 95% of you guys are out there as well, is that this week, and I know we're from all over Australia. I'm from obviously near Melbourne, or Victoria, so I read the Herald Sun. Now, the Herald Sun has not had one article this week about Jai or Sky. Not one. I see this morning they've got an article, or it's a video, actually just quickly on the tail of the tape. Wardley 29, Clark 33, 6'5" is Wardley, 6'6" is Clark. Reach is about the same. Weight 241.6 for Wardley, 271.3 for Clark. So the size difference for Clark is massive. All right, so they had a 40-second video of BETERBIEV and BIVOL on the Herald Sun website this morning. Actually, I lie. They had an article on Jai Opetaia, but nothing to do with his fight. It was all about him winning the lawsuit with Dean Lonergan. So we've got 4 articles on Tim Tszyu, and just that one on Jai Opetaia winning the lawsuit. That is it. So that is pretty disgraceful, I think, when the paper is normally just full of shit half the time, that they've got two Aussie fighters fighting for world titles on the same card and not one article between them about the fight. As I said, Jai had the article about the win over Dean, but that is it. That's just shameful, which is why Jai and Sky don't bother to fight here in Australia. Why would you? They're getting paid good money overseas. Both Jai and Sky would be very, very popular over in that part of the world, where in Australia, both could probably walk down the street and no one would recognise them. It's not great. Whereas you get a cricketer or a footballer or a rugby player, whatever, they're celebrities, and we've got boxers over there doing it on the big stage and can't get one article in the paper. It is ridiculous. What's that there? Is the price is right? What the hell was that? I couldn't hear what they were saying there, Paul. I could see it, but I don't know. I wasn't taking much notice, but I'm not sure why you'd have to give away a car. It looks good, but it's not really. The winner didn't seem overly excited about it anyway. All right, Peter, Sky is all about the science, and good on her. Hit and don't get hit. Yep, that's good, Peter. Exactly. That's going to be great for winning fights. It's going to be great for protecting her health and well-being. But is it going to get her those big fights? Not sure. Oh, look, me personally, by the way, Peter, I would probably prefer her to stay as she is. I mean, it's effective. You see a lot of the girls that are just sort of rock'em sock'em robot type of fights. We don't like to see that because some of the injuries they get is not good. I still look. It's taken me a long time, if I'm being honest, to get my head around watching women get punched in the face. I remember the first time I saw it in boxing. This is probably about 20 years ago now. Probably not even. Probably 15 years ago. The first time I saw it. Actually, no, I take that back. I remember, who was it? Christy Martin, the coal miner's daughter back in the day, but just up close and personal, amateurs and that sort of stuff. It was hard to get used to, seeing women bleeding and getting cut and getting knocked out. Not a great look, but I'm a little bit immune to it all now. But yeah, if you're going to do it, we'll come out at the end of it in one piece. I have Jai over Serrano. Well, did I mix that up? Sorry there, James, have I mixed that up? Or did I say Jai was going to fight Serrano? Sorry about that. Is she even allowed to drive the car? Good question, Paul. That was going to be, I was a little bit dubious about actually saying that, but you've hit it on the head. Well, is she? Maybe not. Has to give it to the husband. All right, so the fans say 58%, or 58% of the fans say Wardley wins, 42% say that Clark wins. Yeah, Massey going back to bricklaying says, Peter, the IBF are riding Jai hard. It's funny though, isn't it, Paul? They they don't sort of give Jai the the leeway they give other champions, do they? Hey Damien, how you doing, mate? All right, the results so far. Jai Opetaia has just defended his IBF cruiserweight belt with a 6th round surrender by Jack Massey. The corner threw in the towel, so Jai retains his IBF belt. Chris Eubank with a 7th round stoppage of Kamil Zerameta to defend the IBO middleweight title. In the other fight, Sky Nicholson beat Raven Chapman by unanimous decision to defend her WBC belt. And Ben Whittaker, Liam Cameron in a bizarre draw, 5-round draw after both guys went over the top rope and Whittaker was injured. So that's it so far. I think, what was the other? There was one on this morning, wasn't it? Was it Muhammad Al-Akal? Pro debut with a win over Jesus Gonzalez. So that's about it there, Damien. Jai and Sky need to fight in Australia, and I can't wait to go if they do. Yeah, well, Sky actually said that she was hoping that maybe there's obviously talk that Liam Paro wants to fight in Australia as well, and both Sky and Liam have been petitioning Eddie Hearn for quite some time to get a fight in Australia. Just on Eddie Hearn too, you see he's dropped Subaru Matias. It's a harsh business, isn't it? He was one of the most feared fighters in the sport, Subaru Matias, before he fought Liam Paro and was beaten. And not only did he lose his belt, he's been turfed from Matchroom. Just pretty crazy how hard this sport is sometimes. But wouldn't it be great to have a triple header, Peter? Jai, Liam and Sky. Who'd be the main event, Jai or Sky? I think Jai or Liam. I don't think Sky would be, of course, but depends on who they fought, I would think. And I think Liam's probably got more upside as far as the types of opponents he could get. He could maybe get a Devin Haney, and Jai could get maybe this German guy, who knows, but that would be good, wouldn't it? Yeah, Peter, No Limit run the show, but they can run in conjunction. We've seen it earlier this year, and also before that with George Kambosos was this year, but also before that with Haney. They were able to work in with No Limit and be able to put a pay-per-view on in Australia on main event. So I'm pretty sure the way it worked was No Limit would probably get a bit of a kickback. They'd get the logo on the poster. Who knows, maybe some other perks, maybe some tickets and VIP packages, whatever. I don't know, but it can be done. So don't let that worry you, because as I said, Top Rank and DeBella Entertainment and everything, they did it earlier this year in conjunction with No Limit. And I would think that No Limit, I think they would allow it. I think overall it's for the betterment of Aussie boxing, as long as they get the lick, I suppose, of the ice cream. Wardley started boxing late in white collar boxing. Just an interesting point. Okay, so what, street fighting or underground fighting. I didn't know that, James. G'day, Gaza. How are you, mate? Susie Ramadan was the first female I watched fight, and she was a good little fighter. She was, mate. Yep. She certainly was. Promoted Susie a few times, and she's. I'm hoping she hangs up the gloves now. If I'm being honest, Peter. James says not the getting of the fights I'm worried about. I think if she gets a big fight, she'll be outworked. Sky, that is, yeah. I would think I couldn't see Sky beating Amanda Serrano at all. I think Amanda Serrano fights like a man. She's not in there to outscore you. She's in there to hurt you. And she hunts you down. She punches hard. I think she beats Katie Taylor, by the way, in the rematch. I actually thought she was a little bit unlucky in the first fight. And I think she can do the job in this one. So the two fighters, by the way, Clark and Wardley, touch gloves in the center of the ring, or they're about to touch gloves. Getting the referee's instructions. They're big boys too. Damien, yep, all good, mate. Yep. Sky by decision, no way. yeah, exactly. I wouldn't, fight live. Young Saudi fighter looked good earlier. Yeah, didn't see that, James. GC getting up that early, fair income. Maybe a Saudi card in Australia. Well, there's been talk about it, Peter. Let's see. All right, let's go for round number 1. Round 1 of 12. And again, we're about about half an hour ahead of schedule of this fight. So let's hope we get the main event the same. And who knows if this goes the distance. I think it will, but we'll see. Two big guys. Good jab there. So both guys starting cautiously. And a little bit scrappy to start off. We're only 30 seconds into the fight, by the way, but I'm just going to, hopefully I don't upset my stream here. So I'm going to give myself a little bit more volume there. Hopefully you can't hear it. So both guys a little bit tentative at the moment, just probing the jabs, clinching, as the heavyweights normally do. And Clark, yeah, nice jab from Clark. Wardley on the move. A little right hand over the top from Clark lands there. Clark centering, looking to take the initiative. But now Wardley takes center ring, and he's content. He's long reach too from Wardley. Misses a right hand there. So not a lot happening in this first round. Clark is a big guy, isn't he? So a lot of clinching in this round. 2 minutes into the round, by the way. And not a lot happening so far. Close round. Oh, just as I say that, a big right hand lands from Ward, and he's teeing off on Clark in the corner. A round timer. Can I do that, Damien? I've got no idea. I don't know. I wouldn't even know how to do that. And down goes Clark. Clark is down in the corner. He's out. This fight is over in the first round. He landed, and you could tell because his jaw was all crooked. You could tell he was out. A first round knockout. Wardley with a first round knockout. And you talk about being ahead of schedule. We're almost 2 hours ahead of schedule. What are they going to do to fill in the time? Because you would think that BIVOL and BETERBIEV probably aren't even wrapped yet. Wow, this fight is over. Damien, if you know how to put a round timer up, let me know, because I wouldn't have a clue. And we'll ban this bloke as well. This fight is over. He rocked him with a right hand and then just teed off and landed another right hand, and down he went, and he was out. So the first one was a 12-round war that ended in a draw, and this time it is a first-round knockout. How different can you get? A 12-round draw in one fight and a first round knockout in the rematch. That is nuts. That is a big knockout. Yeah, Gaza, well done. That is, yeah, that is truly bizarre. He looks in a little bit of trouble in the corner, does Clark. He's a big guy, but he wore a big right hand. Look, it can happen. It can happen where you just get caught cold. And that's exactly what happened, and he just wasn't able to recover. Now, guys, just an update. It is 7:30 a.m. The main event is not scheduled to be on until 9:15 a.m. So we've got an hour and 45 minutes. Is that right, James? I can't see that there. It has a dent in his head. Wow, it must have got hit hard. They are a little bit worried about him in the corner. Wow. So all of a sudden, Wardley enters the equation of the heavyweight sweepstakes. So he's going to move to 18-0-1. And Clark will drop to 8-1-1. So Wardley being 18-0, you got to put him in the mix. And now the fact he's had such a definitive win, you would think that Turki Al Sheikh will get a little bit of a hard on for him now, and you might see him. Maybe he could fight a Joseph Parker, who hasn't got a dance partner at the moment. Maybe a Zilly Zhang. Wow, they're still worried about Clark. Just trying to see. It looks like he's okay. It looks like he's coherent now, but he was not in good shape when he got hit. That is bizarre. Looks like we've got a talking boxing episode. Does, Damien? It does. Hey, look, fire any questions at me you want to talk about, and we'll have a chat about it. Yeah, Tommy, never seen someone stiff on the ropes like that. Yeah, well, there wasn't going to be a talking boxing this morning, Damien, but it looks like we might have to have. I've probably got time to go for a walk now, haven't I? Sorry, Glenn. So no need for the scorecards down there. We didn't even get one round off. All right, well, I'll actually update that now, and we'll get BETERBIEV, and I will see how I go about getting a timer on there, by the way. I don't know how to do it. All right, so we'll get that ready for the main. Oh, hang on. That's not right. Clark's still on there. There we go. All right, here we go. Oh, next to his left ear. Okay, geez. Oh, yeah. He wore a big overhand right, hit him right on that area there, James. And he looked okay. He was definitely rocked, but was punching back. Left hook, right hand, which sort of wobbled. And then it was a big overhand right, put him down, and that was it. He wasn't getting up from that. So it must take a big shot to put a guy like that down, but he did it. So, yeah, overhand right rocked him, and then it was all over from there. Get Neil and go for it, you reckon, Damien? Yeah, look, he's probably not out of bed yet, the little shit. Wow, that's good finish by Wardley. Really good finish. And not much happened for the first sort of 2 minutes, but once Wardley got going, it was all over. I got a feeling, guys, they'll still bring the main event out early. I don't think we're going to have to wait an hour and 45, but you would think that we still might be maybe an hour away, or at least 45 minutes away. I'm sure they'll have plenty of probably, look, it gives a little bit more ass-kissing time to Turki Al Sheikh, doesn't it? Are they going to present him with another honorary Hall of Fame induction or something? That was just ridiculous. One fight card in America, and it was in California, and the Nevada Boxing Commission or Hall of Fame induct him into the Hall of Fame. I don't understand it, but anyway. All right, while we're waiting to see what's going on, guys, if you've got some topics to talk about, let me know. See what other news we can we can chat about. I'm just going to see if he's actually in the rankings. So you'd think with a 7-0-1 record, all right. So yeah, so at the moment, before tonight's fight, Wardley was ranked number 9 in the WBA, number 12 in the IBF, and number 8 by the WBO, and number 8 by the WBC. So you would think with that win tonight, he'll be right up there, probably in the top 5 of those organisations, you would think. So that was for the British heavyweight title. I'm not sure whether Clark was in there. I doubt it with only 8 or 9 fights. No, it doesn't look like he was rated. Well, there you go. We had the last 3 fights all end by stoppage. So one of those things I was looking at, guys, by the way, was we have, this will be a good one, a rematch, Navarrete and Valdez, Oscar Valdez, Emmanuel Navarrete, rematching on December the 7th, which will be a really good fight. The first one was entertaining. That'll be for the WBO 130-pound title. It says on here, Navarrete dominated Valdez. Well, I thought he won, but I'm not sure he dominated him. Can he get down to the weight? That's probably the other thing. So the other fight was, Rafael Espinoza and Rabisi Ramirez. I think that's a rematch as well. So fighting on December 7. The Tyson-Jake Paul fight. Apparently he's going ahead. And the Aussie, Dana Coolwell's on that card, which would be good. And I think I said as well, there's just as I say that, Damien mentions Tim Tszyu. I wish Tszyu ended up fighting Charlo and already been undisputed so he could move up and give life in the dead middleweight division. Yeah, I think he'll definitely move up, Damien. I think what he's just looking at to see how the cards fall at 154. So if he wins next weekend, and we'll be doing a live stream of that, obviously, by the way, guys. So that'll be not as early as this one. But I think he's going to just see what happens. There's just too many good or big fights for him at the moment, isn't there? But you're right. It would have been good if he hadn't beaten Charlo. But then, does he wait around for Crawford or whatever it might be? But I think that if he beats Murtazaliev next weekend, you would think that he's going to be pushing for... Well, it probably won't be Crawford because you've got Spence fighting Fundora, and you would think the winner of that fight will then fight Crawford. Although, if Spence happens to win, he only fights every 2 years, so how long are we going to have to wait for the Crawford fight? Does Crawford then maybe look at someone like a Tim Tszyu? Look, I think Fundora wins the fight, but I wouldn't be surprised if Spence does win. Look, even though he beat Tim, I've never really been impressed by Fundora at all. I just don't think he does anything particularly well. I just think the only reason he beat Tim was because of obviously the cut. He got nailed by Mendoza. I'm just not impressed by him, and I think Spence, if a version of Spence turns up that's anywhere near what he used to be able to produce, I think he can beat Fundora. I wouldn't be surprised. Now I'm sort of almost hoping Fundora wins, so he can fight Crawford maybe mid next year. And then the winner of that can fight Tim at the end of next year. But apart from that, you would maybe think that if Tim wins next week, maybe the Virgil Ortiz fight might be the next one for him. That would probably make a lot of sense. I'm just looking at, let's have a look at some of the other rankings. So at 154. All right, so of course Spencer's fighting Fundora. Charlo's still the champion in recess in the WBA. Now is he making a comeback? No. The middleweight version is Jamal Charlo. All right, so that'll be for the WBC, WBO, although there has been rumours that maybe the WBO might strip Fundora because Spencer's not rated, although I'm just looking at that. Nikita Tszyu is now ranked by the WBO. He's ranked number 14 and 13 by the IBF. Not ranked by the WBC and WBA. Well, that's pretty amazing considering that Nikita's well and truly on the march, but hasn't really beaten anyone remotely resembling a world-class fighter. So that's how it can be done, guys. I don't think there's any way that Team Zoo would be rushing Nikita, no matter what he's ranked for the next 12 to 18 months, I wouldn't have thought. They'll be quite content just to keep moving him along, fight 3 or 4 times a year, probably 3 times a year. Keep him busy for the next probably 18 months. That gives him, another maybe 5 fights, which is probably what he's going to need. But it's interesting, yeah, that he's ranked in or by the IBF and WBO. Oh, hang on. We're going to ban you, dickhead. This guy. I'm not sure it's the same one, but we'll ban him. Hang on. How do I get that off there? There we go. All right, Damien. I want the Fundora rematch bad. Yep, I hope Spence loses due to that reason of him hardly ever fighting. Yeah, it's not good for the sport, I don't think, that, Damien. Well, we are just waiting for the main event here, guys. And I'm not sure how long they're going to prolong this for. But it is 7:41. So we're still an hour and 35 before they're supposed to get it on. I still think we'll be early. I would think that, what is it? I would think they'll have him out by, let's hopefully by about, no worse than 8:30, I wouldn't have thought. Did the girls have to cover up or anything up for the fight? Good. I don't think they did. No, they didn't, Damien. No, they didn't. I saw the last bit of that, which is odd, isn't it? I'm surprised they were even on the card in the first place. All right, so looking at these rankings in the 154-pound division, you've got Boachuk and Madrimov fighting on the Usyk and Fury card. So they're both ranked number 2 and 3 by the WBC. Boachuk 2, Madrimov number 3. In the WBA, Madrimov is 3. Boachuk is not ranked by the WBA. There you go. In the the IBF, neither of them are ranked. This is what's so bizarre about these rankings, fair income. And in the WBO, neither one of them are ranked. So how does that work? That just doesn't make sense. Sergey Boachuk, now is he? No, he's not the interim. Virgil Ortiz is the interim in the WBC. So Sergey Boachuk is ranked number 2 in the WBC, former interim champion, not ranked by the WBA, by the WBO, or the IBF. Just does not make sense. But when does boxing rankings make sense? Now I'm just looking. There's Frank Warren. I'm just seeing if Tazzy Brown's at ringside there. All right. So look, as far as Tim is ranked 1 with the WBO, 4 with the IBF. He's obviously getting that shot at Murtazaliev. Not ranked with the WBA at all, and not ranked with the WBC. Now, is that maybe because he's taken the fight with Murtazaliev? Is that how it works? The fact he's taken that fight is out of the rankings? All right, so both guys are being wrapped at the moment. So I'm assuming the organisers are in the change room saying, hey, boys, we're about an hour ahead of schedule. Let's move it. So they're both getting wrapped, but we've got warm-ups to get through yet. We could still be an hour away. But at least it's next. That's the main thing, isn't it? Geez, we've had more dislikes on this watch-along than we've actually had people viewing it. So, again, guys, got anything you want to talk about? So we'll go through. So next week's fight, by the way, let's have a quick look at that. The Tim Zoo event. Now, again, I'll be doing the live watch-along for that. So Tim Zoo, 24-1, 17 KOs, up against Bakram Murtazaliev, 22-0 with 16 KOs. Now the card. Let's see. All right, so it has been updated. All right, so up until just this week, we had really nothing. There was a couple of fights on there, but there was concerns that Matteo Tapia was off the card. So to go through that, so Matteo Tapia, Andre Savadro, remember him? He beat Isaac Hardman earlier this year. So that'll be, so Matteo Tapia 17-0. Saavedra 16-1. I just want to see who that one loss was against, if it's anyone of note. Lost to Utundi Michael William 2 years ago. All right, so that'll be over 10 rounds. We've got Eunice Tellez versus Johan Gonzalez over 10 rounds. And then we've got 1, 2, 3 8-rounders, 3 6-rounders, and a 4-rounder. So, James, a much shorter card than the last one. Yeah, well, I suppose it helps when we're an hour ahead of schedule because what the Eubank fight went, we saved about half an hour on that one. We saved about half an hour on the Jai Opetaia fight. We've saved nearly an hour on the Wardley and Clark fight. So, yep, great card, nice and quick. Main event should be a classic. I think I wasn't overly excited about the card, if I'm being honest there, Paul. Apart from obviously seeing Jai and probably Sky as well. I was actually looking forward to the heavyweight fight, but they obviously only went 1 round. So, but apart from that, I wasn't overly excited, which is why I didn't get up till just after 5. I think, but even the Usyk and Fury card, I mean, if that's the same sort of time frame, I'm not sure I'm going to be up sort of super early for that one as well. I'm not really that excited about any of them except Madrimov and Bolachuk, if I'm being honest. Volley, yes. BETERBIEV for the W. Okay. I'm not sure if we can do a poll on here either, guys, but I'm thinking I'll just refresh the poll online they're doing. And at the moment, it is currently, hang on, where is it? No, it's gone. Oh, no, there we go. So the current poll is BETERBIEV by KO is the leading vote getter with 47% of the votes. That's BETERBIEV by KO. 4% say he'll win on points. So 51% overall. So it's very, very close. So BETERBIEV 51% to 49% to BIVOL, but of those, 47% by KO, 4% by points. 49% say BIVOL will win, 39% by points, 10% by KO. I can't see BIVOL KOing BETERBIEV. I can't see it. I just don't think that's going to happen. Couldn't stop him. Oh, who knows? Could be by cut. I don't know. But I just can't see BETERBIEV being stopped by BIVOL. BIVOL's not a big puncher. Just that volume puncher. Now, they're advertising a game at the moment called Undisputed. So that is out now. I haven't really known much about that, but it's on PlayStation, Xbox. So looks pretty good. Randall, mate, it is just me watching the fight with you watching the fight. It is not a stream. You can't see the fight here. You can't do it on YouTube, mate. So no matter where you go on YouTube, you will not see a live broadcast of the fight, unfortunately. Unless you get an illegal stream, you won't see it on YouTube. I haven't been this excited about a fight in ages. I got BIVOL, but I'm not putting any bets on yet. It's such a 50-50 fight, James. It really is. It's going to be fantastic. And look, you know, I said on Walking Boxing yesterday that D-Style Boxing over there did a really good meme, and he had the 2 Terminators. He had the Arnold Schwarzenegger version, and he had the T2 version. So he had the Arnold Schwarzenegger version as BETERBIEV, as that tough, strong, hard, really raw type of Terminator. And then he had the more sleek design for the T2. That's what he had sort of BIVOL as. And I thought it was a really good sort of analogy of the two. But it's going to be a case of, I think BIVOL will fight BETERBIEV like he fought Canelo. On his toes, in and out, volume punching, not standing in the one spot too long. I think we know what we're going to get from BETERBIEV. He's just going to be nice and tight, coming forward, trying to really bang the body, come over the top to the head. The reason I'm picking BIVOL again is because after watching the Canelo fight again yesterday, I just think if he fights that way and that work rate and everything as well, that's why I think he can win. Because if you watch that fight, he's in, he's out, just didn't stand still to be hit. He kept out of the corners, he kept off the ropes, always on his toes, always mobile. He didn't run, but always on his toes, in, out, volume punching, and just did not give Canelo a chance to really set. Now, I know BETERBIEV is a lot bigger and stronger and a harder puncher than Canelo, but I would think Canelo's probably got more ring IQ than BETERBIEV and would have had the ability to maybe cut BIVOL off or draw him in, whatever it might have been. But it's just going to be really interesting. And I just think if BIVOL can replicate that Canelo fight, he wins this fight. You can see BIVOL cut him by cuts. Yep, says Glenn. BETERBIEV is winning this hands down, round 11 stoppage. I like the contrast, Damien. What's that there, Damien? Spewing the December card is pretty shit to what happened to Turkey's card. They started off so strong. It always happens, Damien. They always start off in a blaze of glory. Look, I don't mind it. I think we've just been conditioned to having those really strong cards. But this card I don't think is particularly strong. I don't think the December card's particularly strong either. I didn't think the LA card was particularly strong either. So, but I think we've just been a bit spoiled. I mean, you look at some of the other cards we've seen, whether it be PBC or Golden Boy or even Top Rank, there has been some pretty ordinary cards in there as well. I'm the type of fan, I don't really care too much about the undercard as such. I'm just there for the main event. That's all I'm really tuning in for these days. In years gone by, I'd watch the whole card, I'd study it, all that sort of stuff. But maybe it's just my age getting to me now. I'll take an interest in the card, and yes, I will watch it if it's on. But if it's the fight card starts at 3 o'clock in the morning, there's no way I'm getting up at 3 o'clock to watch that December card. I'll be probably getting up for the co-main and the main, if I'm being honest, because none of the other fights on the card interest me at all. BIVOL by KO in the 9th, says AP. A KO, wow. Stoppage or KO, AP? Yep, Father Times comes for us all eventually. Yep. D-Styles round table was awesome. The two goats in the same, Lyndon and Montero. Hope to see more of that. Thanks, Damien. I'd never done, I've been on the round table probably about a dozen times. I've never actually been on there with Mike, wasn't it? Actually, while I was watching it, while I was doing it on Friday, I actually really liked what he had to say as well, Damien. So I actually followed him on YouTube while I was actually doing that show, and I just really like. This is what I like a lot about that show, and I know there's some exceptions, but what I love about the round table, and if you haven't seen it, make sure you check it out. D-Styles round table. I'm not sure if he's doing a live at the moment. He might be. It's a lot more time effective over there in the States at the moment. But what I love about the round table, Damien, is that to have other like-minded content creators, I suppose, on there. But what I liked about Mike is he's not a know-it-all. He just says it the way it is, and that's what I like when I'm watching other creators as well. I don't want know-it-alls who think they know it all, and know-it-alls. You know what I'm getting at. And Mike's certainly one of those guys he has a really balanced approach to it all, because there has been some guys on there that just they'll talk over people and they'll talk forever. And I don't think that's good for that type of concept. But Mike, I really liked. I think, is it Mike? I hope I haven't got that wrong. But thanks, Damien. I appreciate that, mate. Look at Zoo's card next weekend. That's just very, very ordinary, the card. But I'm only tuning in for Tim and Matteo Tapia. That is it. Now, I'm not sure what fights I'll have on the actual card. You would think they won't have many. I would think they would maybe have, although they usually take the whole card, don't they? Either way, it is what it is. We'll do the whole card. I don't care. They'll normally have probably, if it starts at 6 o'clock over there, although it's in Florida, so it's on the other side of the country, I'm sure they'll have about 3 or 4 fights anyway. All right, John Hendrick says BETERBIEV by KO. Can you really see him KOing him though, John? Obviously you can if you put it in there, but I don't know. I just don't see how he can. Well, I don't know. I suppose this is what's great about the fight. This is why we call these fights super fights because we're on here at the moment, not arguing about it, but alternative points of view and opinions. And you can see a BETERBIEV KO, you can see a BIVOL KO. I think you can see a BIVOL decision. Not many people have said BETERBIEV by decision. I think if he wins, it's by KO, or has never had a decision win, has he? So Dave says BETERBIEV will retire if he loses today. Oh, will he retire? Or will we see a second fight or trilogy? I think if it's a controversial fight or very close fight, David, and it's an action fight, I think we might see a rematch. But I think if BIVOL wins clearly, I think he'll retire. There's not really many other. Well, maybe he could hang around and maybe fight the winner of Benavides and Morrell. Don't know. I think if BIVOL wins the fight clearly, he will not want to see BETERBIEV again. I think he'll put it to bed and move on. Age matters, but he's really disciplined and he's blessed with heavy hands. He's in such good nick, John. Very, very good condition. It's almost like, what are the UFC fighters? The same sort of, it's almost like they're chiseled from steel, you know. They're the rigs on them are just very hard. Probably a lot to do with the training over there, I suppose, and they wrestle bears and all that over there, don't they? Yes, I can. He's done it to every fight he's faced. Yeah, yep. Yeah, no, you're right, John. You're right. Good point. Can you really see BIVOL not getting KO'd? Yeah, well, I think BIVOL wins the fight, John. I think I can see BETERBIEV winning, no doubt about that. But I just think, as I said before, I think if we get the BIVOL that turned up against Canelo, I think he can win the fight. But he's got to stay, or he's got to give BETERBIEV angles. If he ends up in the corner or on the ropes, it's disaster for him. I think he can be outworked. But I think I think it all comes down to the way BIVOL fights. I think that more. We know what we're going to get with BETERBIEV. We know he's going to come forward. He's going to bang to the head, bang to the body. He's going to try and get him out of there, and that's really about it. I think if BIVOL takes him head on, I think BETERBIEV probably steamrolls him. But if we get that nice, rangy, on the toes type of, or busy type of fighter that BIVOL was against Canelo, I think he can win. Now, with that too, by the way, that was 2 years ago, so a lot's happened since then, and I don't think we've really seen that BIVOL since the Canelo fight. So he's got to rise to the occasion to get it done. What's that? BETERBIEV and Jai next. Imagine that, yeah. So what's the weight difference there? So light heavy is 175. Cruiserweight is what? It's 200, isn't it? I think. Just looking at the sorry, I'll have to go back to the card. So Jai, it's 200, is it? Yeah, it's 200 pounds. So he weighed 199 for this one. So it's 24 pounds though. Damien, can he put on that amount of weight? That is 10 kilograms. And will it affect him moving up? Maybe it doesn't. But you would have Jai coming down from probably, what is it, 199? You'd probably have him coming down from about 210 to 215. That's a lot of weight difference, but it would be entertaining, no doubt about that. James, can BIVOL take BETERBIEV's power? Can BIVOL take BETERBIEV's power? And if he can he affect BETERBIEV with his shots enough to break him down? Yeah, I can't see at all BIVOL stopping BETERBIEV at all, James, but I can see him outboxing him. Tommy says, I think BIVOL can make the distance. He doesn't get hit. If he doesn't get hit or he doesn't get hit. Yeah, that's what I'm banking on, Tommy. I'm banking on the BIVOL that doesn't lay on the ropes or get stuck in corners. That's what I'm relying on. I think if the fight's fought at range, that's where I think BIVOL wins. He's got the really long reach. He's got the angles. He's got the range. I'm not sure BETERBIEV can get in close and do enough damage if the fight's fought in the center of the ring. The atmosphere in Saudi is like fighting in the bubble in 2021. Yeah, I agree, AP. This is the thing, and this is why I'm glad they put the Anthony Joshua fight in England, and they had 96,000 or whatever it was there for that. I much prefer. I know there's more money in Saudi and all the rest of it, but I just I'm not a big fan of this. I've never really seen a fight. Well, actually, the one that probably did have some atmosphere is when Joshua knocked out Ngannou. I think that was more shock horror through the crowd, wasn't it? But yeah, it's not the greatest atmosphere. Bit like Japan. I mean, Japan's obviously more of a fighting country than Saudi Arabia, but they sort of get the little sort of golf claps happening in Japan. Where in Saudi Arabia, it's just a bit flat, I think. But anyway, I think BETERBIEV is a different beast. I can't wait. Well, let's see, John. Look, at the end of the day, John, to be honest with you, I really couldn't care less who wins. I'm just like you. I just want to see the fight and can't wait. All right, so we're getting a couple of promos here at the moment. No, so we're all close. So what's it been about? Half an hour since the last fight finished. So it's 8 o'clock at the moment. So, yeah, don't know. Maybe they might get him out by about 8:30, which is still 45 minutes early. I hope they don't wait till 9:15 because that's going to be a hell of a long wait. That's a long time to be on here talking about nothing. All right. And speaking of that, guys, again, if you've got anything else you want to bring up, any news that I haven't mentioned, put it in the chat and we'll have a chat about it. The new Klitschko documentary is on Foxtel. Okay, I didn't see that. It's all been about the Menendez sort of stuff at the moment. That was actually quite entertaining, the Menendez thing, but it's taken over, hasn't it? I haven't seen the new Klitschko one. I have seen, unless it's the same one. No, it couldn't be because it's not new. I saw it a while ago, a Klitschko documentary. I'll check it out, mate. It's on Foxtel. All right, I'm thinking of Netflix. Yeah, Klitschko brothers, John, great for the sport. Really, really good guys. And I think, which one is it? Is it the mayor of one of the Ukrainian cities? Randip Leon, how long till the match? Your guess is as good as mine, mate. It is 8 o'clock at the moment. We've been waiting half an hour already, but the official time was 9:15, so an hour and 15 away. Randip, I hope that is not the case. Imagine the bullshit leftist media here if Saudi ever did an event here. I can see it now. I'm with you, Damien. Yeah, they'd be all over the Saudis about everything, wouldn't they? Which might be a reason they might not come here. Although they did go to the States, and the States is a little bit that way at the moment, isn't it? Pretty crazy. What are we, about 3 weeks away from the election? It's always an entertaining time, isn't it, in the States? Who's going to win, guys? Trump or what's her name? Kamala. Or Kamala? Is it Kamala or Kamala? What's your question there, John? Do you think Ukraine and Russia being at war has helped them be better in combat sports? A good question. No, I don't think so, John. I think Ukraine and Russia have been good at sports for as long as I can remember. I go back to before they were in the pro ranks when they were just amateurs. I'm just watching some highlights, by the way, of BIVOL and Canelo, and he really did a number on him, didn't he? Mate, I'm going back to the amateurs back in the 80s. I remember watching, it was obviously all under the Soviet Union then, but they've always been the same, John. So look at, unless it's this particular war you're talking about or wars in the past, but no, I just think it's the way of life, John. They're just brought up harder and tougher than we are here in the Western world. They just when they're young, they get put into whether it be MMA these days or boxing or wrestling, whatever it might be, and that's what they do. Over here, I think our lifestyle has a lot to do with it, John. I know here in Australia, as I say, we're a lucky country. America's the same. So many different sports to choose from. We get the pat on the back, participation awards, all that sort of stuff. Do you really think Ukraine and Russia or Russian athletes are getting pats on the back and participation awards? I don't think so. It'll be win, win, win. And be harder, tougher, and stronger than your opponent. Just a different mindset over there, John. I think that's what it is. I think over here, if you don't win, it's okay. It's all good. You'll be right. Go into your safe corner, and over there, it's nope. You must win. So even like with Tim and Nikita here, you still can see, even though they're both obviously Aussies, both born in Australia, and I know they've got sort of the dual heritage, but born and raised in Australia, you can see that still having the early years raised by Kostya, and now even by the grandfather, by their uncle. I'm sure even their mum would be hard as well, coming from that Soviet lifestyle. You can see they've got that Russian mentality in them as well. And we just don't have that here. We've just got it too easy here in Australia, John, and by association, England, America, Canada, you name it. So I just think it's more the way they're raised. Tough times make tough people. Yep, well, that's what I'm saying there, mate. Yep, I think that's what it comes. You got to remember, you think about it in Russia or Ukraine, whatever, in the dead of winter, freezing cold over there, and they've still got to get up and do the road work and train. They're probably on limited funds and, doing it tough. Whereas over here, we don't have those conditions, and if it's not working for you, you get the pat on the back and time out, you get stress leave and all the rest of it. It's all about the mental health here. I don't think they have that same issue over there. So I just think it's our overall lifestyle, John. Now, I'm not sure this is old footage or current footage of playing, but BIVOL is just starting his warm-up. He's just started skipping. So, all right, Peter, I just watched the Opetaia replay. Can't believe you had time to watch the Opetaia replay. When a beatdown, what a beatdown that was, and I heard Pommy commentary say that CBS would be a handful for Jai. The Poms never learn. They won't. It might be a case of the Canelo with the Poms as well there, Peter, where they just keep lining them up and he just keeps knocking them down. Oh, okay, Vitaly, Mayor of Kiev. Okay, cool. Gaza, Trump 2024. Trump 2024 says, Peter Harris is like elbow garbage. They sound more manly in Russia. They do. I just think they're almost robot-like, I reckon, in Russia. Glenn, Trump's the guy that has just blatantly lied about the government's hurricane response. Really? Okay, so Glenn's on the opposite. Fill me in on that, Glenn. I'm not being smart, by the way. I did see some, I think it was Biden or Harris did comment that there was some misinformation from Trump about the hurricane. I didn't see it. I don't know what they were talking about. You obviously saw it as well. So fill us in. Alizar, how much time left for BIVOL and BETERBIEV? Well, by the schedule, Alizar, it's an hour away, but we have been waiting nearly 40 minutes in between fights, so you would think they would slightly give them the hurry up, but yeah, we'll see. If it's purely by the schedule, then we might be waiting another hour. Let's hope not. Yeah, Damien over here, if a dad disciplines his son after a game or anything, he'll probably go to jail. Yep, you got it right there, Damien. It's just, look, without getting political about the whole thing, about what party you're at, I'm just going to say regardless of what party it is, the way the world is at the moment, especially here in Australia, and again, I might lose what have we got? Hey, we've got 40 people watching. I might lose 20 of those with my comments, but I don't like the whole woke thing. Again, I'm not Labor, Liberal, Red, Blue, Republican, Democrat, whatever side you're on. I just don't like the whole woke agenda. And that, I know that's more the left-leaning side and the Democrat side and all the rest of it, but I don't like it. I suppose I'd be defined as conservative. I love my country. I love our way of life. I love everything about what we have, and I don't like the changes they've brought in. So I'm assuming that makes me a conservative, and that's the way it is. Then that's fine. Damien, there are two genders in Russia. Yep. And, yeah, I don't think they allow you to identify as a garden share over in Russia, Damien. So, but on the whole thing as well, I'm probably the type that don't get like you see some sides of the politics, whatever leaning you are on, and I assume you could probably guess I'm more right leaning, and that's fine. You don't like it, well, that's life, I suppose. But I'm not one that's going to, go off and start getting in your face and yelling at you and screaming and kicking over signs and sticking myself to a road in protest, whatever, that sort of stuff. I'm the type that, well, that's my view. I don't necessarily agree with you, but if that's the case, then we move our way. I don't understand sometimes how people that disagree with others, they get so bent out of shape and offended. I mean, America is probably the classic example, isn't it? over there. Jeez, some of the shit they go on with each other over there is it's just crazy. So kicking down signs in front yards and punching on and arguing, it's just crazy. I don't think that country's ever been divided. And this is the ironic thing about America at the moment. It's called the United States of America. I don't think it's ever been more, what's the word, ununited, disunited, whatever it might be, more divided than I've ever seen it. And technically they're almost in a civil war at the moment without the gun shed. So, all right. So Glenn, fill me in. So you're obviously not a Trump guy. I'll get through some comments there. All right, Peter. I spoke to a Russian woman in Vietnam. She's frightened the shit out of, she frightened the shit out of me. They are pretty scary, the Russians. All right, Trevor. Good win for Stephen Ivic to claim the Australian heavyweight title last night. A good card all around. I didn't see the card, Trevor. That was that the one at the Melbourne Pavilion? Yeah, I didn't see it, mate. I haven't seen any results just yet. But thanks for the update. Why do Saudis love waiting? I don't think it's really the Saudis, John. I just think they've been caught with the pants down a little bit. They normally have a little bit of flexibility, I suppose. But the fact that we were over and done with by 7:15 or 7:30, so nearly 2 hours early based on the run sheet. So you would think that BIVOL and BETERBIEV would have the schedule. They'd probably want to get to the arena probably 2.5 hours early. Well, they're probably just getting the arena when the main or co-main ended. So it's probably a little bit of a rush at the moment. And they're probably out the back. I'm sure the broadcasters and all that are saying, hey, can we get a hurry on? But BIVOL and BETERBIEV have probably got every right to say, well, we'll do it when we're ready. The run sheet says 9:15. We'll come out at 9:15. So they'll all have the build-up, obviously getting the hands wrapped, getting dressed, getting the warm-up started, and then into the main stuff. So, I don't know. I think the best we can do is maybe in another half an hour, I reckon, which would be still half an hour ahead of schedule. When it comes to the main event, though, I think, and such a big event, a big fight, I don't think they're going to really give them the hurry along. I think they'll just dig their heels in anyway and say, nope, we're not moving. G'day, Adam. How you going there, mate? One more week to go. Yep, for Tim Zoo, I think you're talking about there. Thanks, Damien. Yeah, look, it's not popular these days to love your country and everything, but I don't care. I really don't care. I've got to be a little bit neutral with my business. I don't really get vocal about anything online or that sort of stuff because I don't think you can when you've got a business, because it could go two ways. You could lose half your customers, or maybe you could actually increase your customers because people jump on. I don't know, but I've just tried to keep all that off or out of my business. And I'm the type, actually, if I'm being honest, I'm talking in front of 40 or 50 people at the moment, but my thing's always been with when it comes to politics, I've got my views, and if you ask me my views, I'm happy to tell them to you and stand by it, but I'm not going to get out there and get in your face about my views, and because your views are different, I'm gonna punch on or whatever it might be. It's just, that doesn't make sense to me. All right, interviews with people on the ground in Florida. So the government response was late, and when it did get there, they got in the way of the. What was that? When they did get there, they got in the way of the non-profits. Yeah, well, I think the good thing about it, James, is it wasn't as bad as what they initially thought. So that's good news. It obviously has allowed this fight to happen. So yeah, it would have been. I think I said in the Walking Boxing episodes a few times that, look, full credit to No Limit with the whole thing. They were prepared to put the fight on in Las Vegas. I know not just No Limit. I know PBC were involved as well, but to uproot everything and move it across to the other side of the country rather than just cancel it, I thought that's really getting behind your boxer and the event. And luckily it's not going to come to that. But I didn't know about the government response. Geez, how could you get the government response late? They had so much time to get it right, James. How was a response late when they had probably weeks to with a heads up? Doesn't make sense to me. But David, now is time for the Poms to start the build up to Jai versus Billum Smith. Having beaten up every Pom put in front of him, this could be huge if marketed properly. I'd be using media to start a rivalry right now. Yeah, well, I mean, especially with Eddie Hearn involved, David, being an English event, maybe it's not going to obviously happen with the Usyk and Fury card. That's only a couple of months away, but maybe they started it now, give both guys one more fight. Well, CBS has got to come through the Zerto Ramirez fight first, but if he does, Jai's obviously done his part, then maybe they could build it up for maybe mid next year or April, May or something next year in the UK, and that would be absolutely massive. Big payday for both boys. Would it be a standalone fight? Could they do that? Or would it have to be an undercard of a Riyadhe card? It's interesting. But, yeah, that is the fight at cruiserweight, isn't it? What's that, Peter? You obviously haven't walked around the city, city of Melbourne. They have turned into a freak show. Yeah, I purposely don't go to Melbourne, Peter, if I'm being honest. We live in a sensitive world these days, overly sensitive, Gaza. And the thing is, what gets me, and again, I don't want to get too political. It is a boxing show, of course, but I just don't like the way the loud minority, I suppose you call it, is ruling everything against the silent majority. Because when you get online, no matter what it is, like you jump on, say, the Herald Sun here in Melbourne, and I'll read, it might be something to do with something like that, and you'll read the comments, and 95% of the comments might be against what they're proposing, but it still gets through anyway. So 95% of the people out there might be opposing what the council want to do or the government want to do, but it gets done anyway because people just don't stand up. So, and I think a little bit of that in the States as well. I think when it was 2016 when Trump ran for president, I don't think he was taken seriously at all, and he snuck under the guard. And it was the Democrats or the Blues. They sort of got caught napping and didn't do much about it. Then, of course, Biden got in the next time, and I think the Republicans didn't really do much about it, sort of copped it. This time it's a little bit scary because I think no matter who wins, we could have some real unrest. You think if Trump wins, the Democrats or the left-leaning part of the country will probably burn the country down. That seems to be what they do. And if Harris wins, then maybe the Republicans, might say enough's enough, and you just don't know. But it's scary times. I'm actually going to be over there 2 weeks after the election, so let's hope it's still in one piece when we get there. Yep, capitalistic society, says John. Made us love our wealth and hate ourselves. Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it, these days, John? That's a really good point you've made there. Yep, love the wealth and hate ourselves. Yep, and hate our country. That's one thing I don't like, John. Again, I don't want to get. We have got a bit of time to kill, so if you want to talk about this, then put it in there. I'm happy to chat about it. But what I don't like, I'm really glad my kids. One of my sons is 19, about to turn 20. Out of school for the last couple of years. My younger son's just about to turn 18. He's about to finish year 12. He's about to do his exams. I'm so glad they're not part of the school system now because, to be honest with you, I'd probably pull them out and homeschool them. I don't like what they're teaching in schools these days. Look, I'm not saying your views are your views. That's fine. What I'm saying is don't bring them into schools and try and or brainwash everyone, because just because the teacher or the faculty or the curriculum, whatever, is a certain way, what gives you the right to instill that in my son or other people's sons or daughters that have different ways? That's what I don't like. I'm all for, if you want to live your way a certain way or have certain beliefs, fine, no drama, do it. But when you push them onto other people who have differing views, that's what I don't like. And I definitely don't like all the agendas are pushing at school. Let the kids go to school and learn to read and write and get life skills, and leave all the other agendas, no matter what side it's on, out of it. I just don't like it. I just believe in schools there should be the Australian flag in every school. They should sing the anthem every morning at school. I remember doing it when I was younger, a long time ago that is. I think that should be what we're putting into kids, having pride in your country, pride in those people that fought for your country, and having pride in your family and everything. We just don't see that these days. It's like everyone's just been out of shape and mad about something. But anyway, who is this lady they roped into the broadcast? I don't know, James. I don't know who that is. I reckon in my lifetime, some US states will try and break away from the Union. Well, Paul, that's what obviously caused the Civil War in the first place. And if you haven't seen it, check out my video that I did a month or so ago when I was in Gettysburg doing the Civil War thing. And that's exactly what happened. The 11 Confederate nations, or states, I should say, sorry, the 11 Confederate states tried to break away from the Union. They didn't like the way, and it's scarily, eerily, or scary, whatever you might want to call it, similar to the current day and age. The 11 Confederate states wanted to break away. The Union said, no, you're not going to do it. I know it was all built around slavery, and I'm sure that had maybe a little bit to do with it, but it was more about those Confederate states wanting to break away and become the Confederate States of America. That's what they wanted to call it. And that's what the Civil War was about, the Union trying to hold them to it. And, of course, when you've got 39 states compared to 11, well, of course, the 39 states are probably going to win. And they were able to defeat the Confederates and bring them back into the Union. It's interesting, though, again, I'm getting way off topic here, but when I was in Gettysburg and I did the tours over there and listened to a lot of the people, a question came up about what happened to the Confederates soldiers who were killed in Gettysburg, because obviously it's on Union territory or Union ground. And the tour guide said, who cares? Who gives a shit? Now, these are American citizens. This is what gets me about America. This is what I actually said to our guide. I said, mate, I don't think he really knew how to take it. I said, from an outsider looking in, I said, look, as the superpower of the world, and even back then, they were the superpower of the world, arguably, whatever, but they were the superpower of the world. They managed to be at war with themselves. So the only civilized country that you've seen, I know a lot of third world countries went to war with for certain different things, but a civilized superpower of the world, supposedly civilized, by the way, goes to war with themselves and then has a comment like that of who cares what happened. They are Americans. Like when the war was over, they had to go back to living as Americans, and it's still that divide. It's just, it's a crazy country. It really is. I hear a lot of Texans say they'd want to separate. Yeah, I think they would if they could, John. And initially, with Texas, the war, what was it, 300-400 years ago before the Civil... Actually, it might have been around... I can't remember. Anyway, when we're over in the States, I'm actually going to Texas. I'm going to go to the Alamo, John. So I want to see what happened at the Alamo. I love going to historical sites and getting some information about it. And apparently the Mexicans had Texas at one stage, and part of that war was getting Texas back into America because the Mexicans wanted Texas and might have had it at one stage. I'm not quite sure. So it's fascinating over there, that country. I just can't get enough of the history of the States. So as I said, I'm looking forward to seeing what... I don't know a lot about the Alamo, just like I didn't know a lot about Gettysburg and the Civil War, but absolutely loved taking it all in when I was over there. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they have to say about that. But I reckon they would separate. And the interesting thing about the States is as well, guys, is that if you look at the red versus blue map in the States, probably about 75% of the country is actually red. The difference is, of course, with the electoral college and all that, with all the points and votes and all that, the way it's all carved up, they only need X amount of... excuse me. Sorry, guys. Too much talking. It's been about 2.5 hours now. Losing the voice. But if you look at the map, as I said, 75% of it is actually red. But because you've got New York and California have so many electoral votes, they just they don't need as many states to come on board to win the election. So I don't understand the way it all works, but I must admit, in the last sort of 4 or 5 years, 8 or 9 years, I've taken a bit more of an interest. What's that? They have to hold the broadcast so the American broadcast plays when they advertise it. That's what I thought, James. Well, the good news is we are about 40 minutes away. Taylor tape is up. 39 years old, BETERBIEV. 33 is a BIVOL. Same weight, 5'11.5" in height for BETERBIEV, 6 foot for BIVOL. Reach is the same, and weight 174.9 for BETERBIEV, 174.1 for BIVOL. All right, Flash. I had a thought about this. Tim Tszyu fights next weekend, and that's a Hurricane fundraising event. It would create a massive buzz and more fans. If we do a fundraiser, do you mean, Flash? If we do one, or so just elaborate on that a little bit more, mate. Is saying, are they doing one, or you would suggest that we maybe do one? Massive buzz and create more fans. Well, it would. Lachlan, very good point, mate. I'm a white male. How do you have an opinion? Very, very good point, Lachlan. I probably don't. Because my opinions would probably make me a definitely is it far right? I think it is. I don't think you can be just right leaning these days. If you've got any conservative values at all, you're far right. Now, I thought far right is what we saw back in the 40s in Germany, not what we see now, but simply for the fact that I love, and a lot of you guys out there as well, the fact that we love our country and we want it to stay as it's always been, and not entertain a lot of this rubbish that they go on about these days. That makes us far right. Not right, far right. But you're right there, Lachlan. How dare I have an opinion? All right, Damien. Jai, start unifying, please. Enough of these BS fights. He needs to become undisputed. Yeah, I think in a perfect world, Damien, he definitely would. Glenn, all right. Trump claimed the response was selective in regards to support depending on who you vote for. Okay, all right. I didn't say that, Glenn. He even claimed Republican voters were denied water. Yeah, well, yeah, I doubt that would be the case, would it? A lot of the conspiracy theories going around about what actually caused the hurricanes, and, you know, the fact that a lot of this trouble going on down south is in Republican states. I don't really buy into that. I think sort of grasping at straws a bit there. But, yeah, I didn't know that, mate. Did he actually say that? Okay, I didn't see it. I didn't see it. It starts in about 45 minutes there, mate. Yeah, it's nearly 8:30. All right, did you see the dent that was left in Fraser Clark's head? People are wondering if he had a stroke, but I think he broke the orbital and it also somehow affected his jab. I think so, Larry. I'm looking there. They've got a sphere in Saudi Arabia. I didn't know that. Thought it was only in Vegas. I reckon I'm with you there, Larry. I think he's had a fracture or something's happened there. I couldn't see it there, to be honest, if I'm looking at it. But I'd say, yeah, he's definitely had a head fracture. Or he did look all right when he got out of the ring. So I'm assuming he's okay. But I'm with you there. He's probably cracked some sort of the orbital. He got hit hard. The way his face was distorted almost did look like he'd had a stroke. But I just think the fact he was obviously out. But he did look all right when he got out of the ring, so I'm assuming they'll take him straight to the hospital and get him x-rayed and on the mend from there. Probably have to have surgery, I would think. Albanese is a little weasel. We need him out. I do tend to agree with you there, Damien. I love the again, I'm on at the risk of upsetting a lot of you out there. I do like those cartoons they put on every week on the is it the One Nation Facebook page. They are funny. So well done. Left are a bunch of delusional fruitcakes, says Gaza. Oh, his jaw. Yep. Sorry, I meant affected his jaw. Yeah, I think so, Larry. I think he'd be on his way to the hospital now for an operation, I would think. We'll ban this bloke as well. Spot on. Where's that, John? What did you say, John? I'll go back. Yeah, I want to separate. And just as I say, that's always the way. The stream starts to struggle a little bit. All right. Andy's in the chat. How you going there, mate? We've got more dislikes on the channel than we have viewers at the moment. I think there's a lot of people. I know I'll keep going back to it. 34 dislikes. So 34 people come on for a free stream and said, how dare you? We know it's illegal, but we thought we'd come on anyway, and I'm going to give you the thumbs down just because. All right, Gaz, let kids be kids. Yep, and stuff the rainbow bullshit. I'm with you, Gaz. I have no issue. I know I'm treading very careful waters here, by the way. I'll tread carefully. I have no issue with anyone that's from that persuasion or that whatever. Be whatever you want. Live the life the way you want. No dramas. Just don't push it on the kids. Let them be kids. And if they want to be, do that down the track, hey, whatever. I just don't like pushing any agenda on anyone. I think when you go to school, it should be about learning, not about agendas. Just me. This gender pronoun thing, says David, in schools is child abuse in my book. I agree. And I think, well, I know I would. If my kids were still at school and this stuff was being sort of pushed on them, I'd be having a please explain. I'd be up at school saying, you do not push this shit on my kids. Now, my thing, even with my kids, I've always said to them, I don't care what side of politics you're on or whatever you might want to do later on, and your beliefs, that's fine. Just be educated and know both sides or all sides of the issue or the story. That's all I say. And say that to anyone, really. But I say to them, have whatever views and points of view you might want to have, but just know what you're talking about. Unfortunately, in schools, it's just all one way. We even get it in sporting codes and all that sort of stuff. Keep it out of. I don't know much about the rugby league situation, but I'm just talking about AFL. I like the Indigenous round. I think it's good to celebrate the heritage of the Aboriginal culture in AFL because it's not a political thing. It's purely to recognise the Indigenous or Aboriginal involvement in the sport. So I don't mind that. If it was just a push about the political side of it all, I would say no. But I don't mind that. They have the Anzac round as well, which I love. Probably the best weekend apart from the grand final every year. But apart from that, keep all the agendas out. I don't want to see a pride round or nothing like that. Keep it out. Again, I don't care what they do, what people's persuasions are. Just keep it out of our sport. That's all I'm saying. And same as rugby, whatever it might be. This is playing up a little bit here. It's always the way, isn't it? Get that back. But keep any of those agenda things out of sport as well. I think people like to go to the football or basketball, whatever it is, and just get away from all that. And they just want to go watch their team play. Can they at least do that? Please just let them go play football or rugby or basketball, whatever it might be. All right, so I'm just, where are we there? Trying to get my stream back. It's decided to die. I'll exit out of it and bring it back up again. All right. James, if Trump wins, the woke crowd will burn down the country, and if Harris wins, the woke crowd will burn down the country. This is what has happened in Europe. Good call there, James. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pause. My stream is having all sorts of... Isn't it always the way? Don't you hate that? All right, we'll keep going through some comments. I think people are starting to stand up against the woke thing. I can see it turning back over the next decade. Well, let's hope so, David. Again, I don't care what your beliefs are, but don't push them on me. I just want to live my life. This is the thing that... Don't you think that most people, when you think about it, all they want to do is live their life? They just want to live their life. They want to have... Oh, where are we? They want to earn enough money to pay the bills, to maybe go on a holiday, to be able to treat their kids to McDonald's once a week, whatever it might be. They just want to get through life. Most people don't give a shit about all this stuff going on. So why are we continually into beating it down their throats? They want to go to the footy, forget about all the dramas of the world, but no, they've got to go to the football and have all these things thrust upon them. And that's what I don't like. What's that, Andy? Sexuality definitely has no place in schools. No, it doesn't, Andy. I remember having sex education in school, but it wasn't... Hang on, I'll just have a drink here. But it wasn't about the female versus male thing or the gay thing or whatever. It was none of that. It was about the male genitalia and the female genitalia and what goes where and all that sort of stuff. Now, I won't say I agree with it, but it is what it is. But these days, it's these kids who are trying to find themselves at 8, 9, 10, 12 years of age, whatever it might be, and all of a sudden they've got someone saying, well, if you feel this way, this makes you this. Well, let them find it out for themselves. You know, so many, kids are confused enough as it is at an early age, let alone having that thrust upon them as well and feeling even more confused. So Johnny says, buy guns. Civil war coming. You sound like my wife, John. All right, guys. Well, it's 8:35. It's been over an hour since we've been on here, and we've still got 40 minutes to go. We've currently got a production happening at the moment. Not sure who this guy is. He looks like a rapper. All right, Damien, if you haven't seen the Rocky Tour, oh yeah, yep, the Rocky Tour, check it out. Absolutely amazing. Should have been a pay-per-view, Damien. Yeah, it was good fun, mate. It really was. I didn't actually think about it, but I probably should send the video to him because he has his own YouTube page and Instagram page. I think he might even have his own podcast as well. So I probably should send him a copy of it. But I'm glad you enjoyed it, Damien. I loved it. It was just an awesome time. It really was. Mannix had Crawford number 1 pound for pound. Okay, I did see that on the screen. I wasn't quite sure what they were doing. So number 1. Yeah, look, I know this is a little bit, contrary to a lot of people think. I still would think, in a way, would be number 1, if I'm being honest, Damien. I know Usyk's probably on the top of a lot of people's list, but I would still have, for me, in a way, number 1, Usyk number 2, Canelo number 3. What's that, Peter? 270 seats. Oh, is that the Electoral College, is it? Yeah, okay. In the States, yeah. Yeah, I didn't see it, Glenn, but I'll try and find it. I think the thing with that is too, though, Glenn, I think they've all been guilty of saying, I'm not just defending Trump, I think they've all been guilty of it. I think sometimes you're probably getting that much information about different things and you're on social media and looking at all this stuff. I think sometimes you've just got to button the lip until you know for sure. If it goes the distance, I got BIVOL. If there's a KO, then BETERBIEV. I'm with you, Eddie. Anything slightly to the right of Stalin and Mayo is far right. Yep. Damien, they don't care about their own people, but send millions to the Jews and Ukraine. Yeah, good point, Damien. This is what I think upsets a lot of Americans. I don't think they're saying, hey, stuff Ukraine or whoever. They're just saying, hey, that's great. We understand we've got to help these countries out, but how about you look after our country first? Now, I've seen it firsthand. Many, many times I've been to America. So many times I've lost count. Every time I go, I'm amazed at the living conditions of some of the people over there, and particularly the veterans who get nothing. And again, I don't care whether you're a Republican, Democrat, whatever. I just can't believe they just give billions and billions and billions of dollars away for nothing, get nothing back. And it's almost expected of America, and I get that when you're a superpower, but the state of their own country, particularly certain states, and again, this is not political, but this is just fact. And I've been to every single state you could probably think of in America, red or blue. And I'm not saying this because I'm more conservative. The blue states are a mess. Homeless people everywhere. There's just the shit you see on the street. It's hard to get your head around coming from a country like Australia. You go to the red states, you just don't see it. You see people that love their country. Like, here's an example for you. I don't want to get too far behind them. I just want to kill some time before we're getting into the main event. But I went to Oklahoma last year, to Tennessee, to Texas, to Kentucky, and they all seemed really safe. The people there were so friendly. We call them the good old boys. Just really people that their only values were their family, their country, their flag, all that sort of stuff. And that's what you got. I went to California. I've been to New York. I've been to Massachusetts. I've been all around Pennsylvania. And Pennsylvania wasn't too bad because it's one of those, well, that's the battleground states, sort of a 50-50 type of state. But those, particularly California and New York, holy shit, they are in all sorts at the moment over there. And the governors don't seem to be too stressed about helping the people. And that, again, I'm just not saying it as because I'm more conservative leaning. I'm just saying I've seen it with my own eyes. All right, Glenn, fractured cheekbone. Okay. I think from the comments on here, it's clear you have a majority view. Yep, just telling it the way it is, James. I know it's not everyone's cup of tea, but I just go by what I see and what I know. All right. Thanks, Glenn. Makes sense about the Fractured cheekbone. Quite horrific KO. Knocked out standing. Really bad night for Ben Shalom and his fighter. Not a good look for Whittaker either. Air went out of the balloon. Yeah, it did. Yeah, he was, Glenn. I haven't seen Whittaker. Yeah, I haven't seen the fight, but I'll watch it a bit later. Killing time now with pointless concerts. Yep. At least we've got politics to talk about, Paul. Leon, I was waiting for that one. Came here for the boxing. Well, at the moment, Leon, we've got concerts to talk about. If you want to talk some boxing, put it in there. Why am I bothered, Aussie guy? Because I think I'll get rid of that comment. Why are you bothered, Aussie? Because what happens in America affects us here in Australia, Leon. That is why. That is why, because whether it's what happens in the US is what happens to the is what happens to the rest of the Western world. So it's easy for you to say, why am I bothered? Because what happens in America has a trickle-down effect to Australia. So that is why. All right, well, I think we're going to get rid of you, Leon, because you seem like a bit of a dick, if I'm being honest. So see you later. I've got no dramas with anyone having a different opinion, but don't be a dick, okay? What the hell is he talking about there, Leon? Yeah, so anyway, he's gone. All right, Larry. Actually like Whittaker, and usually his trash talking is refreshing, but the way he disrespected Liam before the fight and his new level of arrogance, I'm happy he got humbled. Credit to Cameron. Well, the good thing about boxing, Larry, is that people like Whittaker tend to get humbled at some stage, don't they? It is the great equaliser. All right, Peter, look at Victoria and what the Labor government have done to the state's debt and still spending. These politicians cause havoc and then walk away with their fat pensions. Couldn't have said it any better, Peter. And did you see over the weekend, Jacinta Allen has issued an apology to the Indigenous people on behalf of Victorians, even though the voice was voted down. They pretty much said, that's great. We'll just do it in private so no one knows. So, but all that aside, again, the voice and all the other stuff and the schools, push that aside for the time being. But look at what you've said there about the spending. This is why I'll never forgive that piece of shit, Dan Andrews, and now it looks like Jacinta Allen's falling into the same patterns of just wasting money, just giving it away, just flushing it down the toilet. The $380 million they lost on the Commonwealth Games, they paid $380 million not to have the games. They spent $1 billion not to build a freeway. So I don't, again, throw out the whole Liberal versus Labor, left versus right bullshit. I don't care. If this was a Liberal Party, I'd be saying exactly the same thing. That is just crazy. And these are incompetent people who just get to walk away. Dan Andrews walked away with his pension and with a freaking statue. Can you believe that? Anyway. What the hell is all this music garbage? Play the damn fights. Yeah, well, we're getting there, Jack. We're half an hour away. It's been a long, long time. What has it been, an hour and a half? By the time the fight comes on, we would have been sitting here for 2 hours. Flash, yeah, I would love to see Tim and the promoters turn the fight into a fundraising event, ensuring a positive spin on the fight after the hurricane, raising cash and the spirit of community resilience. I like it, Flash. I really like that idea. Maybe they could do that on the night and turn it into some sort of fundraiser, because the fact that they're still going to put on the fight, there would be a lot of people over there hurting as far as losing everything. I'm not sure it was obviously as bad as what they thought, but still a lot of people would have been put out. They would have lost houses and belongings and everything else. So I like your idea, Flash. These performance concerts between the fights need to die off. Terrible music and seems like something out of a cheap Austrian art gallery. Well, thankfully, Larry, I can't hear it. I've got the volume down, but I think even the people in attendance would be thinking, geez, at least I suppose they can go for a beer or something, but geez. I'm a boxing fan, not a fan of clowns and so-called celebrities. Well, I have no idea who these people are, Larry. Yep, garbage, says Paul. Now, if you are watching, guys, again, we're about half an hour away from the main event. It's a long, long wait. Peter, I think BIVOL gets a stoppage and dominates the fight from the beginning. Gets the stoppage, okay. John, why are we helping with wars when we have a homeless pandemic? Again, couldn't have said it any better, John. Especially in America. I know there's homeless all over the world, and I understand that, but America, we're just talking about it to break it down, in that they give, well, how many billions have they given Ukraine? I mean, tens of billions of dollars, and they've got people living on the street, and the veterans just living in squalor. I just don't get it. I really don't. And that's one thing, whether it's red versus blue, I don't care. If Trump was in power and it was happening, I'd be as vocal as I am now as well. But the facts of the matter are, he's not in power. It's, I was going to say Harris and Biden. And I don't think you could argue that in the 4 years they've been in, the country has gotten worse. I think that's just a fact. Because I've been there, in those last 4 years, I've probably been over there 10 times. And it's gotten worse every single time. And I think, again, with the risk of upsetting people, I think if you look at the debate that they had a month or so ago, I thought Donald Trump hit it on the head in his last comment of that debate. He said, "You've been on me about the country. Well, we're going to fix all the problems that apparently he created, and all the mistakes he made. We've got to fix that." Well, you've had 4 years to fix it. Why haven't you done anything about it? Why haven't you done anything about the border? Why haven't you done anything about the homeless? Why haven't you done anything about lots of things? All the stuff you're saying you're going to fix, we've had 4 years to do it. And I think I read somewhere that they said that, the Democrats have had 28 or been in power in 28 of the last 32 years. I might be slightly mistaken, but I think it was 28 out of the last 32 years. But it's all Trump's fault. So literally in 4 years, he's done more damage than they've done in 28 years. I just don't understand it. But I don't care who's in power. There needs to be less spending overseas and more into their own country. And that's one thing. I remember reading a book on Trump when he was just a businessman. 15 years ago, I think I read the book, and he said that he would run the country like a business, and I think he did. Stuff feelings, stuff other countries, America first. Let's go. And that's the way he did it, and the way he's going to do it. And that's why, all politics aside, that's why I've always been a fan of Trump, because he runs it like a business, he's not a politician. And that's why I think Ronald Reagan was so successful as well, because he wasn't a politician. He was an actor that went into politics. And I think that's why Trump, in my opinion, was a lot better president than any of his predecessors, or Biden and Harris afterwards, because he put America first. So anyway, go to LA, they're everywhere. Well, John, here's a quick thing for you. And I know, again, we're talking about things other than boxing because there's nothing happening at the moment. We're watching previews and everything else. Went to LA at the end of 2022 with my family. We stayed in Hollywood. Stayed there a few times in the past. Loved going there. Taken the family there a couple of times in the past. Loved it. I'll never go back to Hollywood, but maybe even California. I'm sure there's good parts of California, but Hollywood, mate, there were homeless people everywhere. Not that that's the main thing, because most of them are harmless, but there was a park just down the road, and we stayed in a pretty good hotel in a good part of Hollywood. Down the road, a park full of people shooting up. It was just littered in people, just zombies shooting up, laying out in the street, whatever it might be. There's a car out the front of our hotel that was lit on fire. It was just crazy. So not a good state over there at the moment, mate. G'day, Shane. How you going, mate? I haven't seen much of you lately. After lots of flip-flopping, I've got BIVOL breaking down and getting a late stoppage. Okay, I'm surprised at all the people that are picking Shane BIVOL by stoppage. So we'll see. California can steal hundreds of dollars of things from a store, and legally they're not allowed to stop you. I think it is up to, is it $1,000 or $900, John? That is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. You can walk into a shop, grab up to $1,000 or whatever it might be, and walk out, and they can't do anything. That is just the worst and stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life. That really is. What's his name? Gavin Newsom. Absolute peanut. Larry, this is worse than an NSYNC concert. All the damn lasers and flashes. Couldn't they have used all the damn money they spent on artists on the fighters instead? Good point. Well, we do have Michael Buffer in the ring at the moment. I'm going to turn it up a little bit there. I'm not sure what's going on there because they've got Michael Buffer in the ring, but all I can hear is one of the fighters talking. I'm going to turn it down anyway. I can't have it up. Are we about to see the ring walks? All right. Jack. Yeah, I'll let you guys talk about that in the chat. I won't get into that. That's a shocking situation, isn't it? Yeah. I should have brought out Chief Keef. And guys, I'm having a bit of trouble with my stream. I think we're back. I think I might have lost you guys for a second there. All right, Jack, did you hear about the First Nations ambassador? 370K international travel budget. Absolute crock. That is just ridiculous. Yep. We're following America there, Jack, at the moment. Here comes ARTUR BETERBIEV. Okay, we are early. We are 25 minutes early to be exact, and ARTUR BETERBIEV is making his way to the ring. I'm just going to exit out of it for a sec because all I can hear is someone talking. So, all right. Yeah, people keep voting for the idiots. I'm with you, David. They're all corrupt because power corrupts. Yes, it does. Peter says, Alan was in charge of Commonwealth Games, and where else can a CEO cost the company $600 million and keep their jobs? Very well said there, mate. And I 100% agree. All right, so just let me know, guys, if you're having trouble with your stream as far as whether I'm getting... Actually, we might be back now. Okay, now we're back. All right, now I'm getting the proper audio. I was getting a voiceover there for some reason. So DMITRY BIVOL about to enter the ring. All right, a couple of comments before we get into the main event. Alan was in charge of Commonwealth Games, and where else can I see? Oh, sorry, $600 million. That's ridiculous. Yep. On the zoo next week. I hope we aren't looking past Buckram. Well, I think there might be some people doing that, Paul, but I don't think Tim is. I think that's the good news. I think a lot of fans are looking towards fights with Crawford and Fundora and all these types of people. I don't think Tim Zhu is, which is good news. All right, DMITRY BIVOL making his way to the ring. John, bad. There's tents on freeways and the parks and the streets. Yep, everywhere, mate. Any solid news on where the Liam Parra rematch will be held? Is it a rematch? No, it's not a rematch. He's fighting Richardson Hitchens. That's in Puerto Rico. Saying sorry to Aboriginals is what else do they want from for something nothing to do with us? Yep. Now I'm having trouble with my stream here. Sorry, guys. The modern era. All of this has been reversed, and America is in major decline. Only in Victoria can a leader have an arts degree and destroy a state. These people are not qualified to run a milk bar. Here we go, says Damien and Paul. All right, so they're doing the introductions now. What's that, Flash? I think they're playing the national anthems at the moment, so we'll still do a little bit of talking there. Rang up all the venues up here in New South Wales, mid-north coast, and found one venue in Wollongong showing the Tim Zhu fight. I don't understand why it's so hard. Yeah, that's crazy, mate. Doing the national anthem now. John, talk about stupid. There's a law in one of the American states that will fine you $50 for setting off a nuclear device within 35 miles of the township. $50, is that all? Wow. Just let me know if this stream's okay, by the way, guys, because I've just changed my link there. All right, well, that was a quick anthem. All right. right, so Michael Buffer doing his thing at the moment. We're about to get the introductions. All right, so I hope we're still on here. I think we are. All right, so ARTUR BETERBIEV looks like he'll be introduced first. Wonder if they flipped the coin to see who came into the ring first and who gets introduced first. I hope there was. I'd say no, and these guys, they wouldn't have cared. I'm going to turn this up just a tad. Maybe that's a little bit too loud. Yes, it's finally happening, John. All right, I'll just, it's always the way. Yep, can't wait there, mate. All right, so they're doing the introductions now. I'm just getting my live stream back that just dropped out and I hit the wrong button. The Undisputed 175-pound total. Yes, we are here. Both fighters looking confident, ready to go. So Eddie Hearn firmly in DMITRY BIVOL's corner there. So the judges, Glenn Feldman from the US, Paul Cardinal, is it, from Poland, and missed that last one. I think they are from Spain. Referee Thomas Taylor. I think he's American, I think. Yep, from the US, Thomas Taylor. Officials in place. And we are ready to rumble. Ooh, a bit flat on the let's get ready to rumble. He's been doing it a while, I suppose, hasn't he? All right, so BIVOL being introduced first. So BETERBIEV came in first. BIVOL's getting introduced first. 22-0 with 12 knockouts. And the saying is from Indo, California. They will not say he's from Russia. Ridiculous. Regardless of what's going on over there, at least say where he's actually from. I think BETERBIEV is from Canada, they say, isn't he? Crazy. And DMITRY BIVOL puts the arm in the air. He's ready to go. Big cheer for BIVOL, or as much as you could probably be expected in Saudi Arabia. Geez, he looks hard, BETERBIEV. 20-0 with 20 knockouts. From Montreal, Canada, apparently. I know that's where he lives, by the way. But they won't say he's Russian. So what's he got? He's got the... BETERBIEV's got the WBC, WBO, and IBF, and BIVOL's only got the WBO. I thought I had it in my mind that he BIVOL had another one, but obviously he's only got the one compared to BETERBIEV with 3. All right, the boys go to the center of the ring, and we are ready to go. No eye contact being made by either guy. Yeah. A lot of white in the crowd there, John. All right, so here we are. We didn't think we'd ever get here, I don't think, but here we are. We are about to have DMITRY BIVOL, ARTUR BETERBIEV fight for the Undisputed light heavyweight title. Both guys ready to go, just waiting for the bell to ring. Jab, hard jab too. It does look bigger than BIVOL. Both orthodox. And BIVOL, he's standing in front of BETERBIEV. And actually slightly even the aggressor. Good jab from BIVOL. So not a lot of action to start the fight. Both guys just content to jab. BIVOL the busier with the jab, BETERBIEV with the harder jab. Yep, Russia wins no matter what, that's for sure. So BIVOL now a little bit more on the toes. BETERBIEV coming forward with a hard jab to the body. He's a strong guy. So halfway through round number 1, not a lot of action so far. I don't think I've even seen a right hand thrown yet. BIVOL does throw a left hook that gets blocked on the gloves by BETERBIEV, and so evenly match these guys. You can imagine these guys back in the day sparring. Would have been some pretty competitive stuff, I'd say. Definitely a battle of the jabs at the moment. And as I said, BIVOL being the busier. There's a right hand from BETERBIEV that gets blocked. A right hand in return from BIVOL that gets blocked. Good, right to the body from BIVOL lands. Probably been a little bit more effective so far, I think, BIVOL. Right hand just misses from BETERBIEV there. Nice little short right hand. Just starting to heat up a little bit with 30 seconds to go in round number 1. Oh, sorry, Peter. I don't know what's going on there. Is everyone else getting the same here, guys? Am I losing my sound? Let me know. Just let us know what the problem is there, guys, and I can switch a few things around. But, oh, they exchange punches here. Right at the bell. Wow, that's a tough one to score. I'm just going to give it slightly to BIVOL. Very, very slightly. I thought he was a little bit busier. I've got no dramas if you said that BETERBIEV might have got it, but for me, BIVOL just. All right, what do you think, guys? Now, I'm not sure what's happening. To BIVOL. I'm hoping we're back here, guys. Let me know. All right, guys, I think we're back. I don't know. It's been it's always the way. But if you just got back on, I think we're live. I think I've got it 29-28 for BIVOL. If you can see and hear me, put it in the chat. What a disaster, right? As soon as the fight starts. All right, we'll see if we can get a few people back. All right, so BETERBIEV coming forward, BIVOL on the move. It's been actually an interesting fight. The BIVOL has been happy to trade with BETERBIEV when it suits him, but he's now sort of back on the bike a little bit there. But I think he's actually fought quite well so far. I've missed a little bit because I've been trying to get this stream back up and going. So again, apologies for it. Yeah, I'm back, mate. Sorry, James. I don't know what happened there. It just completely just bugged out on me. So we are halfway through, or just over halfway through round number 4. And I think BIVOL has boxed very, very well so far. BETERBIEV doing his thing, but I think BIVOL has been the more effective. I think he's winning the battle of the jabs. And when they do exchange, I think he's almost got the better of that as well. I did give BETERBIEV the 3rd round, I think it was. But let's hope we get a few people back. So again, apologies about that. Just the computer decided to have a hissy fit. I think another good round for DMITRY BIVOL. Boxing very, very well at the moment. And BETERBIEV just hasn't really been able to get out of first gear so far. And when he's actually started to throw some bombs, BIVOL's had the answers. So I did give him that 3rd round just mainly on the work rate and A couple of punches he landed, but yeah, James, I'm not going to argue with it, mate. Yeah, I did. I thought, just to be fair, I'll give BETERBIEV one of those rounds, but I'm with you, mate. I think BIVOL's had the better so far, but I think because I was sort of going back and forth between the stream and this as well, I think that I might have given BETERBIEV a round, but I think BIVOL's definitely had the upper hand in this round as well. All right, well, I'm going to give that one to BIVOL. And he could have easily won all 4 rounds. All right, so we've only got 16 people watching now. Let's hope we get the other 30 or so back that we're not watching, that cut out. So, again, guys, I don't know what happened with the stream. It's always the way. Did not miss a beat in the prelims and the hour and a half or something in between. Good right hand landed on the replay there from BIVOL, by the way. 4-0, Glenn. Yeah, okay, yeah. As I said, you might be right. I was trying to get the stream fixed in between. I was sort of looking back and forth, so I did give one of the third, I think, to BETERBIEV, but just to be fair. But still, I've got it, what's that, 3 rounds to 1 for BIVOL. I think either way, I think we all have to agree that BIVOL is winning. And I think the BETERBIEV's just got to start picking up a little bit here. He hasn't really, as I said, got out of first gear yet. And BIVOL looking very, very confident at the moment. To the point now where he's the one that's actually coming forward. John, you reckon, didn't you pick, I'm pretty sure you picked BETERBIEV by KO, didn't you? Oh, okay, get ready to see BIVOL get pummeled, okay. So he's better do something. James, you might be right there, mate. Yep, it could be the case. Another conspiracy theory. Yeah, I agree, Peter. He's looking good at the moment, isn't he? BETERBIEV's just having trouble just getting into just to stop. BIVOL, and this is what I said at the start, to win he needs to fight like he did against Canelo. Give him angles, be busy, not stand there and in one place. I think he's, not that he's running, but he's just fighting a good fight at the moment. He's moved to the left, he moved to the right. And BETERBIEV is really just struggling to get his range at the moment, because BIVOL is just not standing still for him. Now, it's only round 4, obviously. We're only halfway through, but just round 5, sorry. But BIVOL just so far, it looks very comfortable out there. And just boxing very, very well at the moment. Not the most exciting round, this one. BIVOL content just to be on the outside. Does land a good counter right hand, though, BIVOL. Nice shot. And now it's BETERBIEV who's backing up. This is just not the usual BETERBIEV we see. He hasn't really been aggressive. He hasn't really let bombs go. He looks like he's been very, very confused right from the word go. Let's start to pick it up a little bit here, though. I'm not sure he's scared, Omar, but I'm with you, Peter. The BETERBIEV we're seeing at the moment, especially 10 kilos heavier, I don't think gets anywhere near Jai from what we saw tonight. Just looks very robotic. He does go to the body there. Sort of a better round, I suppose. I still think BIVOL's had the better of it, though. He's just boxing very, very well. Oh, nice right hand, left hook lands from BIVOL. Nice shots. So 10 seconds to go in round number 5, and another good round for BIVOL. And there is the bell. So for me, I've given that round to BIVOL. And I have it 4 rounds to 1 on my unofficial card. What do you guys think so far? Let us know who's winning. We've got a few back now. We're up to about 30. So thanks, guys, for jumping back on. Apologies to those 40 people that have given me the thumbs down for not showing the fight. John, you're pretty confident there, mate. We'll see soon enough. You're obviously a BETERBIEV fan. He hasn't shown anything so far. He's been very, very tentative so far, BETERBIEV. And I don't agree with Omar. I don't think he's scared. I just think he hasn't been able to get off so far. Glenn says BIVOL 5-0. Yep. Definitely BIVOL winning at the moment. But he's got to pick it up, John. He's got to get a couple of rounds under his belt. There's no guarantee there's knockouts at this level. So, sorry about my voice today too, guys. Probably getting up so early. So round number 6. Glenn, he's got to do something. He's got to get going. He's got to start letting them go. He's not going to win the fight doing this. Look, I don't think there's any doubt he's trying. It's just that BIVOL has all the answers at the moment. And BETERBIEV coming forward, trying just to get BIVOL to slow down a little bit. He's poking out the jab, and they're good jabs. It's just that BIVOL is just no effect so far. I just would have thought by now, I'm with you there, Peter. Yeah, levels is right. And BIVOL's shown tonight he's at a different level. I just can't believe how slow and mechanical BETERBIEV has been made to look by BIVOL. I know we're only not even halfway through the fight yet, plenty of time, but BIVOL he's looked confident, he's looked relaxed. And BETERBIEV is looking very, very, very wooden. BETERBIEV. I know that's sort of his style, but just hasn't really let anything go so far. And BETERBIEV, right hand lands there from BIVOL. Goes to the body, then back upstairs. And BETERBIEV misses the right hand and just cannot get off at the moment. Even the punches he's throwing don't seem to have much zip. I know he can probably hit like a sledgehammer, but BIVOL just at the moment, just not allowing him to get set. So I've got a minute to go in round number 6. And I think another good round for BIVOL. I think it's been a better round for BETERBIEV. He just hasn't really landed anything. Right hand over the top from BIVOL. Left hook hits the gloves, but a good shot from BIVOL. Right hand lands. And it's now BIVOL that's pushing BETERBIEV back. So 30 seconds to go, round number 6. Yeah, good point there, Peter. Does go to the body there, but geez, he looks slow, BETERBIEV. And BIVOL just pretty much doing what he wants at the moment. He's just not cutting off the ring, BETERBIEV. I don't think anyone's disputing he hasn't got skills, John. BETERBIEV, he's just been beaten to the punch at the moment by BIVOL. I think that's another good round for BIVOL. And I have BIVOL. I wouldn't argue if it's a shutout either, guys. What's that? 5 rounds to 1 for BIVOL. Yeah, Peter, you did say that. BIVOL would walk him down. I've been surprised that BIVOL's actually gaining confidence and actually backing BETERBIEV up. He's just showing he's just got one dimension so far. Yeah, Glenn. Yeah, I'm not going to argue with that, mate. 6-0. But BETERBIEV, and I think this was maybe one of the fears going in if you're a BETERBIEV fan, is that if it doesn't go according to plan, has he got other strings to his bow? Has he got a plan B? Has he got a plan C? So far, we've seen nothing. Plan A hasn't worked, and it just looks at the moment that he's incapable of going to plan B, because I just don't think he has one. Whereas BIVOL, he's moving through the gears, he's fighting conservatively, then he ups the pace, he'll throw 1 and 2, then he'll throw 4 and 5. So he's just fighting a very, very good fight at the moment. Yep, Peter, he's definitely showing that so far, isn't he? No, I agree, Glenn. He's coming forward, but he just cannot get off against BIVOL, who just has the answers. There's a really sharp, lightning counter right hand from BIVOL. No, I'm with you, Glenn. It's certainly not over yet. We've got 6 rounds to go. But it's not helping at the moment that it's actually BIVOL that's in the centre ring pushing BETERBIEV back, who's just content to just to poke out the jab at the moment. And when he throws the right hand, BIVOL just sees it coming from a mile away and picks it off. I agree, Peter. It looks exactly the same fight as a Canelo fight, doesn't it? Except for the fact that Canelo was probably throwing more punches and trying a little bit harder. BETERBIEV, it's just like these guys have probably done a lot of rounds together, and BETERBIEV looked so confident in the lead up to the fight that he knew something that we didn't. But so far, I just haven't seen anything. Just poking out the jab and just being picked off. And now it's BIVOL throwing a 4-punch combination. So again, another good round for DMITRY BIVOL. We're halfway through round number 7. Yeah, he is, Peter. And who would ever thought we'd say that? The BIVOL is bullying BETERBIEV. Good jabs too from BIVOL. BETERBIEV is just pretty much fighting the way he was in the first couple of rounds when it looked like he was feeling out BIVOL. Well, we're in round number 7, and he still looks like he's feeling out BIVOL. Right hand, left hook from BIVOL. Nice shots. And a right hand. And there's BIVOL putting on BETERBIEV. Almost look like you might have him in a little bit of trouble there, though. BETERBIEV does fight back. Good combination from BIVOL. And it's just 1 or 2 punches at a time from BETERBIEV at the moment. Just cannot get any leverage on those punches. Yeah, I'm with you, Glenn. Yep, good points there, Peter, as well. So BETERBIEV coming forward now, but not really throwing anything. And those earlier combinations from BIVOL were just so precise and good combos. Look, BETERBIEV's had a better second half to the round, but again, hasn't really landed much at all. And I think another good round for BIVOL. Closer round. I think BETERBIEV came home quite well in the last probably minute of that round, but I think the work of BIVOL early in the round gave him the point. So for me, 69-64 for BETERBIEV. So what's that? 6 rounds to 1. Yeah, Peter, I tend to agree, mate. He's it's like he's stuck in mud at the moment. Well, that's good, Artur. I did Glenn. Sorry, given it to Artur. I think that sort of evens it up for both of us. I thought BIVOL's early work was enough, but either way, we've both got it the same, 69-64 at the moment. 6 rounds to 1. He did come home quite well, though, BETERBIEV, in the last minute or minute 20 or whatever it was. Yeah, good call, Peter. All right, has BETERBIEV got anything left? We're about to go into round number 8. And so far, it's all been one-way traffic for DMITRY BIVOL. Just a very, very good performance so far. But with 5 rounds to go, still anything can happen. So 12 rounds, undisputed world 175-pound titles on the line. Right to the body from BETERBIEV. Yeah, James, so you gave that to BETERBIEV. Yeah, he did come home quite strong, so we'll call it just maybe a bit of an evener upper for that early round I missed. So 6 rounds to 1 for BIVOL. It's funny, though, BETERBIEV's been trying to get BIVOL to maybe slow down a little bit and exchange, and then when BIVOL actually does stop and want to exchange, it's BETERBIEV who actually starts to move away. I just don't understand the game plan. And the shots thrown, I'm just trying to work that out. They're 50% from BIVOL, 24% from BETERBIEV have landed. I can't hear the commentators, sorry, Glenn. So who have they got winning? Because I just can't see how you wouldn't call it just a masterclass so far from BIVOL. So coming up to the halfway point of round number 8, a better round for BETERBIEV here. He's probably been the busier. Travis, you think BETERBIEV's winning? Wow, okay. I've been watching the wrong fight. Sorry, I've got it 6 rounds to 1 for BIVOL. Wow, okay. I think he's actually winning this round, I think. It's like BIVOL's almost taken the round off. Yeah, I'm with you there, Peter. I agree. So I think BETERBIEV, I think, yeah, he's been the busier in this round, but neither fighter have really done a lot. But BETERBIEV is backing BIVOL up, who hasn't really been overly busy in this round. Travis, what's your score there, mate? You've actually got BETERBIEV up. So what score do you have? How many rounds for each of the guys do you have it? I would have to say it's close surely on your card. It's amazing how different people can watch fights differently. So a better round from BETERBIEV, I think, this time. I think he's got the better of this round. BIVOL hasn't really engaged a lot. Not that BETERBIEV's done a lot either, but the fact he's the aggressor, coming forward, throwing punches, I think we're going to have to give this round to him. With 10 seconds to go in round number 8. Good little combination to finish a round by BIVOL, but I think BETERBIEV has done enough. Yeah, Peter, I'm with you, mate. I think this is what I said in my preview yesterday. I did say that don't be surprised if it's not the slugfest that we all hoped. Because when you get two guys with the IQ and ability of these two, and probably so much respect for each other, this is always possible. I think it's been a good fight, but not a great fight. BIVOL face swelling up. I didn't see that. Okay. So how'd you have that, guys? I gave that round narrowly to BETERBIEV, but I've still got BIVOL 4 points in front. And I think the only thing from here we could maybe have is a draw. Yeah. Yeah, it's a hard one, Travis. I'm not gonna. What's that? 6-2. You've got it. Yep, that's the way I've got it as well. All right, round number 9. And BETERBIEV takes center ring, and I think that's good point there, Glenn. I think the last round, though, I don't think BIVOL really did anything to win the round, and so I think I gave that round just on work rate. So as I said, on my scorecards, the best BETERBIEV could possibly hope for, apart from a KO, of course, if it goes to scorecards, is a draw. But so far, BIVOL coming forward and throwing the punches, BETERBIEV backing up. I would think he would just put it on the line, start maybe taking a few risks now. Yeah, I agree, Peter. You're not going to beat BIVOL going backwards. I agree. I'm with you though, Shane. It has been a skillful fight, not the most exciting fight, but this is probably what I expected. I didn't think we'd get Hagler Hearns or anything like that. I think I would have expected maybe a little bit more from BETERBIEV. We had probably more action early in the fight than what we've had in the mid-range of the fight. But so we've got just over a minute and a half to go in round number 9. And BETERBIEV just plodding forward, but I think BETERBIEV has landed the better punches. Just poking out that jab, BETERBIEV. BIVOL on the move. Yeah, nice little 4 or 5 punch combination from BIVOL. And BETERBIEV just has not had the answers. And as I said earlier, he's looked wooden. He's looked a bit robotic. So under a minute to go. Nice left hook to the body from BIVOL lands. And BETERBIEV comes forward, but all punches taken on the glove. I'm with you, James. I think it's a good technical fight. I like it. It's exactly the sort of fight I thought we'd get. apart from maybe BETERBIEV maybe being a little bit busier, but BIVOL has made that the case. He hasn't really engaged too much and stood still for BETERBIEV to really get those shots off. And now it's BIVOL throwing the punches, or the majority of punches. Good set. He's probably thrown about 10 unanswered punches there. And another good round for BIVOL, in my opinion. 10 seconds to go, round number 9. Yeah, I'm not sure BIVOL will probably go up, Peter, to be honest. I think he's quite comfortable at 175. I didn't think he might aim for the Canelo rematch. And isn't it great? We've got, looks like Benavides and Morel in early 2025. Have we got that right? Yeah, 7 rounds to 2 for BIVOL. And the winner of that, who knows, could fight BIVOL if he wins next. Wow, crazy. What a fight that would be between the two. I think anyone beats BIVOL. I think out of either of them, looking at what I've seen tonight, I would think BIVOL definitely beats Canelo for a second time. Might be a little bit closer, who knows, but I think he would beat Benavides easily. I think Morel would probably have a better chance just because he's got, I think, slightly better boxing skills, but I think BIVOL beats Benavides in a shutout. Yeah, I'm with you, Glenn. Yeah. Not there yet, though, Glenn. We've still got 3 rounds to go. So I've got an 88-83 for BIVOL. So it's unusual they haven't put up the scorecards. Yeah, I'm with you, Glenn. I think it's easy work for BIVOL. So round number 10, 30 seconds in. BETERBIEV coming forward. BIVOL content again to box from the outside. Look for his openings. Yeah, I'm with you, Peter. As they say, mate, levels. All right, so on the DAZN card, they have BIVOL winning 87-84, so 6 rounds to 3. They gave BETERBIEV rounds 4, 5, and 6. I think I might have given him a couple of those rounds as well. Yeah, I've given him just the 2 there, Glenn. He is coming forward in this round, though. But BIVOL just looks so comfortable. Doesn't seem intimidated by BETERBIEV at all. And we thought it might have been BETERBIEV knowing a bit more about BIVOL and being confident. Well, it looks like BIVOL maybe knew what he was getting in for, and that's probably why he was confident. Because I think he's quite confident, or he was quite confident coming in to be able to handle BETERBIEV's strength and power. And he's just picked him apart round by round. Halfway through round 10. And it's just been a masterclass by DMITRY BIVOL so far. As he comes forward now and BETERBIEV backs up. He just, again, I'll say it, just has not got out of first gear. Just probes a couple of little light jabs out, throws the right hand, and then goes back to doing the same old thing because BIVOL's just not there. Does throw an overhand right there that just misses. Oh, right hand, left hook from BIVOL lands. Beautiful punches. And now he opens up on BETERBIEV. Good punches being landed here. What a performance so far from DMITRY BIVOL. Has made ARTUR BETERBIEV look very, very ordinary, which is something I don't think any of us thought would happen. Yeah, good call there, Peter. So 20 seconds to go, round number 10, and another good round for BIVOL. Started the round slowly, but that middle of the middle minute or minute and a half of that round, wow. He's coming forward now, BETERBIEV, but I think the damage has already been done, and I think BIVOL has won this round. 2 rounds to go. And on my card, BETERBIEV needs a knockout to win. So you can see there, I've got it 8 rounds to 2. 98-92 for DMITRY BIVOL. What a fight so far. All right, so guys, if you just joined us, 2 rounds to go, and you see my scorecard there. DMITRY BIVOL 98, BETERBIEV 92, 8 rounds to 2. I just think DMITRY BIVOL has done exactly what he's needed to do so far. He's boxed when he's needed to box. He's punched when he's needed to punch, and he's just got everything right. I mean, BETERBIEV's had a couple of moments, but overall, BIVOL all the way so far. 9-1 says Glenn. Okay, so what am I 8 to 2? Yeah, maybe a little bit there, Peter. Peter's got the same as me, 8 to 2. All right, championship rounds, 11 and 12. And the only way BETERBIEV wins this fight, in my opinion, is by knockout, but so far has barely landed a glove on BIVOL, if I'm being honest. Well, a decent glove anyway. A couple of glancing punches, but nothing that's really got BIVOL's attention. I can't really hear the commentators, but I think, what did I say last round? They had it 6 to 3 for BIVOL. At least they've got the right guy in front. All right, I just heard one of the commentators say there, and I think I heard it right. If BETERBIEV wins the last 2 rounds, he's still a chance to win. I don't know how you could have BETERBIEV anywhere near BIVOL, but I'm with you there, Peter. I think it's been an easy fight for him. BETERBIEV is starting to put the pressure on here, but BIVOL not standing still. He's trying to pick up the pace, BETERBIEV, but he just has no pop on his punches. He's throwing hands, but just none of them have got anything on them. I don't know whether he's tired or he just can't get a good read of where BIVOL is. I don't know, but goes to the body there, comes up to the head. Definitely has upped the work rate, no doubt about that. And BIVOL not throwing much back in return. Doesn't look like he's in any distress, but BETERBIEV would think winning this round, although BIVOL does throw a 1-2 there. So a minute to go, round number 11. And something drastic has to happen here if BETERBIEV's got a chance to win. I don't understand the commentators saying if he wins the last 2 rounds, he can win the fight, because, as you can see, there are 6 points behind on my card. I think he's winning this round, though. Work rate's been good. Has landed a couple of good shots in there as well. BIVOL not being overly active. Maybe he's taking a round off to come home strong in the 12th. But I still would like him to probably move a little bit more. Yeah, Peter, good point there. So could we see them fight each other? I don't think BIVOL goes up. BETERBIEV digging to the head and body. I'd like to see BIVOL maybe move a little bit more here. He's not moving really at all. With 10 seconds to go in round number 11. Does come back now. He doesn't really need to do it, I don't think, to trade with BETERBIEV. I think that is a good round for the holder of 3 belts in BETERBIEV. And there it is, 107, 102 on my card for DMITRY BIVOL. So 1 round to go. Isn't it amazing how fast the rounds go when you're watching a main event? Thanks to the, what have we got, 30-odd people watching. It's been great to have you along. Again, apologies that my stream dropped out. I don't know what happened. And also to the 43 people that have given me a thumbs down. Great to at least to have you just tune in for a second and give me a view. What do you got? 9-2. Okay, I gave that round to BETERBIEV there, Glenn. So I've got it. Well, I think you had it 9-1 before anyway. So you gave BETERBIEV that round as well. Yeah, Peter. Yeah, I did hear him say that. You can't say that BIVOL has made this look easy. BETERBIEV has literally walked him down all fight. BIVOL has had the cleaner shots, but you can't say it's not close. Yeah, I don't know. I've got it. I don't have it close, Travis. I don't say it's been a total domination. You're right what you're saying there, but I just think DMITRY BIVOL has just done everything Wow. The zone have got BIVOL winning by 1 point. 1 point. 105, 104. Wow. So if BIVOL wins this, BETERBIEV wins this round, we could have a draw. I just can't see that myself. But anyway, we're just over a minute in. Almost a minute into round number 12, and BETERBIEV coming forward. Nice little 3-punch combination from BIVOL. Folds it up with a 4-punch combination. Geez, will it come down to round 12? I can't see it. But wow. I've got it 5 points of difference and they've got it 1. I don't get it. Nice combination by BIVOL, but better. No, don't say that, Peter. Surely. I just cannot see how you would have BETERBIEV winning this fight or close to winning this fight. I just can't see it. Surely not. All right, anyway, back to the fight. Halfway through round number 12, BETERBIEV coming forward, not really throwing a lot. BIVOL has been the more active fighter in the first half of round 12. And I think he's doing enough so far to win this round. Been busy and has landed a couple of good shots as well. BETERBIEV, again, struggling just to pin BIVOL down. This is where BIVOL's been the most effective on the move. Not running, but just left and right movement and throwing 3, 4, 5 punches at a time. So we're a minute to go, round number 12. BETERBIEV coming forward, throwing shots. And BIVOL comes back. Good final round. This round pretty much up for grabs now, I would say. 40 seconds to go in the round and the fight. And could we see a draw or a BETERBIEV win? I cannot see it no matter what happens, but geez. He's putting on the pressure now, BETERBIEV. Not landing a lot, though. He's going to the head and body. Nice right hook to the body there and another right hand over the top to the head, just misses. All right, we have 15 seconds to go in the fight. BETERBIEV comes forward. I still think BIVOL's landed the better shots in this round. And we count down to the final bell. And it is over. Now, I thought BIVOL did enough to win that final round as well, if I'm being honest. So I have it, well, there you can see, a shutout, really. I have it 117, 111 for BIVOL. That's 9 rounds to 3. Now, maybe it could be a fraction closer, but I just don't know how you would have the fight close. Let's see. What do you guys think? Give me your picks in the chat. So 9-3 for Peter, 9-3 for Glenn. I had it 9-3 as well. Travis, how did you have it rounds-wise? If you haven't been scoring the fight, just roughly, how would you have it? I think you had BETERBIEV winning earlier. Volley. The fight has just finished. I have it 9 rounds to 3 for BIVOL, as have a couple other guys in the chat there. A couple have it the other way. So what do you got there, Shane? 7 rounds to 5 for BIVOL. So either way, you've got BIVOL. I just thought it was a perfect fight by DMITRY BIVOL. I really do. I just thought he boxed so well. Yeah, he gave away a couple of rounds. I just thought BETERBIEV, he tried hard. He pushed the fight, but just never got going. Never really got any momentum in the fight. I think BIVOL just boxed his way for the entire journey. I just think it was just a masterclass from BIVOL, and I think he's won the fight clearly. And I just think he made BETERBIEV look pretty ordinary if I'm being honest. What's that, Peter? BETERBIEV was basic and that's it. Skills pay the bills. I certainly do. I just don't see how the fight was close, let alone BETERBIEV even winning it. Look, I've got a feeling, if I'm being honest here, that BIVOL will win, but it'll be a lot closer than what most of us have it on here. I think, who knows, could even be split. I think BIVOL wins, but maybe You know, it's 7 rounds to 5. Maybe there's a draw in there. I don't know. But I think it'll be close on the scorecards, but BIVOL will win. Just some good shots landed by both guys to the head and body. All right, so we're just waiting on the scorecard. So what did you have there, James? You had it 7, 8, and 11 for BETERBIEV. And so you've got it 9 rounds to 3 as well. Yep, okay. Yeah, Glenn, I agree, mate. I don't believe it. I don't know how it could be a draw. I think BIVOL won the fight clearly. So, yeah. Anyway, we'll see. As I said, I think it'll be very close on the scorecards, but I still think they're going to give it to BIVOL. I'm just going to turn it up a little here and risk getting banned here. I think we should be right. All right, here we go. $114, a draw. Glenn Feldman. 115, 113. 116, 112. Oh, no. That has to be one of the worst decisions I've ever seen. Scorecards 114, 114, 115, 113, 116, 112. ARTUR BETERBIEV is the undisputed light heavyweight champion, and that is absolutely ridiculous. Look at my scorecard. How much of a peanut do I feel at the moment? I had it 117, 111. And that just blows me away. How ARTUR BETERBIEV won that fight, I will never know. John, you might have told us, but he didn't win that fight, John. He did not win that fight. Travis, take my hat off to you, mate. You did sort of pick it as you... Not biased at all, John. It's just calling it as we see it. There's no way in hell that BETERBIEV won that fight. There's no way he won that fight. Well done to ARTUR BETERBIEV, John, but he did not win that fight. James, I won't say it's of all time, but still, that is a shocker. I'll rewatch it, Travis, but I don't think I'll see it any other way. Wow. No, I had it 9. I just can't believe I've got it so wrong. I had it 9 rounds to 3 for BIVOL. And he's lost a majority decision. Wow. So it's not, John, it's not being biased. It's not talking shit. It's just, come on, be nice. We don't want any insults going either way. It's fine that you had it differently. That's cool. But don't be insulting the other guys in here, John. But hey, good on him. I didn't really care who won either way, but I cannot see any way in hell that ARTUR BETERBIEV won that fight. I'm really looking forward to seeing how other people on here viewed the fight. I'm sure there'll all be reviews coming straight after this, and I might do mine as well. But I cannot see how he won that fight. Wow. Anyone else beside these guys in here? So obviously John and Travis thought that BETERBIEV got the win. Was it Glenn and Peter and myself and James thought that BIVOL won? Let us know. I'm just at a loss for words. Neil trying to come in there. I'm at a loss for words, guys. He's saying he thought he did enough to win, but doesn't sound overly convincing about it. Yeah, it's interesting to see the rounds, Travis. Interesting to see the rounds they had it, who scored who with, because I had it 3 rounds and I thought I was being actually quite generous to BETERBIEV. I've just got this totally wrong. Tommy, draw at worst. Yeah, okay. Yep. Peter had it 9-3 for BIVOL. Wow. There'll 100% be a rematch now. You can guarantee it. I'm with you, James. I didn't see any half-decent shots land at all. Wow. And that is it. Well, guys, that is the fight. ARTUR BETERBIEV. There you go. Flash. The majority of people have BIVOL winning. Yeah, so the scorecard's 114-114, so a draw. The other judge had it 115-113, and the other one was 116-112. So 8 rounds to 4 for BETERBIEV. Wow. Whew. Well, maybe we might see that, Peter. Maybe we do see BETERBIEV go up and fight Peter. I think we've got to see a rematch. Yeah. John, I get it. He was walking him down, but he wasn't landing anything. This is probably my point. You're right. I mean, BETERBIEV probably threw more punches. Arguably, I'm sure the punch stats say that, but I just didn't really see him land anything meaningful. Yeah, great win for Jai, Julian, for sure. They've got to do the rematch, surely. Yeah, well done, BIVOL. He's saying he thought he won, but he's not going to comment too much. Just congratulations to ARTUR BETERBIEV. So, wow. I wouldn't go that far, John. His face. I mean, geez, you get scrapes and scratches in any fight, whether you get hit or you don't. And BIVOL has been known to mark up quite badly as well. But that's cool. That's your decision. That's fine. No one's judging you for it. I just think most of the people in here thinks BIVOL won the fight clearly. I had it 9 rounds to 3, so I got it completely wrong. So that is it. So Damien, you obviously wanted BETERBIEV to win. Oh, yeah. So BIVOL saying the marks on his eye were actually from his glove being up so high and then the glove getting hit. But, yeah. Wow. So, Damien, you thought that BETERBIEV won as well? Okay. Be interesting to see the different feedback from all the different channels out there. And that is it. All right, guys. Well, let's leave it there. That is all over and done with. Actually, not a bad time to end the fights. It's only 10 a.m. here in Australia, which is good. And ARTUR BETERBIEV is the winner. So I'll probably do a review on this, so look out for that. But I'm going to watch it back again for sure. But from watching it live, I thought DMITRY BIVOL did more than enough to win that fight. And I'm with you, Colin. I thought he boxed beautifully. You obviously had it closer to me, and that's cool. I had it 9 rounds to 3, which have it 7, so I had 2 extra rounds for BETERBIEV. But still, you had BIVOL winning. I just thought he boxed fantastic. But anyway, so all good. Whether you thought BETERBIEV won or lost, it's all good. We're all here. This is why we do these watch alongs, so everyone can have their input and have their say. As I said, I thought that BIVOL did more than enough to win, but I'm not going to argue with anyone that didn't think that way. That's why we do the telecast. Oh, Fight Hub saying BETERBIEV is the winner. Yeah, okay. Well, he did win the fight, volley, but I thought BIVOL won. So anyway, it is what it is. Guys, thanks for everyone that tuned in. Really appreciate it. We will be going live next Sunday as well for the Tim Tszyu, Barkram Murtazalia fight, so keep a lookout for that. I'll put the times and everything up. and we'll go through it again next week. So, guys, thanks again. Have a great remainder of your weekend, and we'll see you next time.